Oh, look at that.
Look who's first.
Professor P. This is a message.
So
So,
we're here.
live on a Tuesday night from our illustrious studio in Clarksville, Tennessee, coming to you via the magic of kilobits per second on the World Wide Web. This is the Buff Del Campo Show. And you are here at the very, very start. We're starting right at 7 because we are responsible. And
On time.
what's that
We're
called? When
this close to being not on time.
what the prompt?
Yeah.
What are the other? There's other words that
I
mean
don't
we
know.
got here right on time. I am Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel also on YouTube at Kim Fixes Things, where sometimes I fix things, but most of the times I just fool around with arts and crafts and play with junk. And I am here with the namesake of your channel, of this channel that you've already found, Buff Del Campo.
Hello, everybody.
I will be spinning the hits, as it were, with my screen. I can change where we sit. I can also
That's a
warp us
close-up.
through time and space and peruse the internet, the interweb, to look at different kinds of things. It's magical. It really is. It's going to be a journey, folks. Tonight, we're going to talk about 1983.
So what
Is
do
it
you have a
83?
58 up there?
Well, listen,
Okay.
there was an 83. It's 1983, right? You
Yeah.
could tell I've done my advanced planning. He deals with the emails. If you have a photo of your project, regardless of what year, make, or model of it is, we'd love to see it. Even if it's not a car, maybe you have a trailer, a tractor, maybe you did something cool to your house. We're fine with that. We want to see it. Please send it to us at buffdelcampo@gmail.com. I'll type in a link before too long here. We don't have a moderator just yet, but once we have a moderator in here, he will probably try to echo off things. And if you are watching from home, if you are watching after, or definitely if you're watching live, you want to have the chat on, right? Because for every little thing that we say or read off the chat, there's all kinds of stuff scrolling by, and it's a much more interactive experience if you can see the chat. So there's a little button if you're on your computer that allows you to see the chat replay. It's nice. It's entertaining to follow along with. So hopefully you're able to do that. If not, this is my reminder as well as yours. We will try to read the names of the participants when we're reading their comments.
I don't
so
always
you know
do
who's
that. I don't
talking
always
to
do
who.
that. I'm bad about that.
It's
but I'll try to
easy
do it.
when we get a little bit fatigued to just start blurting out answers without reading comments, and then it's harder for you to understand. So we're doing this, for you. This is community time. We consider our chat our friends. If you're not our friends, go away. We
Don't
only
tell
like
people-
nice
don't
people.
tell people to go away.
No, I would rather have less people and have it fun
Oh.
and friendly than have a whole bunch of people and it just be this
We don't-
miserable mess that no one likes.
We don't have bad people here.
It is 1983 this week, jack stands and cinder blocks, and you haven't missed a thing. I'm just doing my regular intro, and most of you who are here have already seen it. But since it's the very beginning of the stream, somebody who's never seen the stream and watching the replay, they might want to learn some of these things. The next thing that I want to do before the time gets away from me, we have a points system. I award points when people to chatters when they do something I like.
It chatters.
Chatters, chat participants, I will work on it. I don't like followers. That seems like, if there's anything I could say about the people in our chat, most of them are not followers. A lot of them are very independent, strong, smart people, very intelligent people. I don't think dumb people enjoy our stream because we're over their head a lot of the time. Except when we're done.
Look who is here right on time.
Yes. So the points. One of the things I like to award points for is when people are prompt. When I was working in the field, especially as a plumber and stuff like that, punctuality was very important. Very important. If you got 3 strikes, you were out. You couldn't be late. So the people who are here right on time, like Slant Daily Garage, with his comment, "What's up, suckers?" He was first, so he gets 3 points.
Well, he was on time. First at 7.
First at 7. I don't start awarding points till the stream actually starts, but I'll award extra points if you were here early and on time. That's a good thing. Retired Inspector Bruce was here also at 7. Says, right on. I'm giving him 3 points tonight because I'm feeling extra generous. Buddy Carafano was here early and on time. Says it's showtime. He's also getting 3 points tonight. Tommy Hanlon's getting 2. Hello from
Tommy
Dublin.
Hanlon's here already. Wow.
We're international. That's excellent. Mike N is here, says hello everyone. He's getting 2 points. Johnny C says like the outer limits. Oh, because we can go through time and stuff. Yeah. You also get 2 points. And Jack Sanded Center Blocks, you get a point. And then I got to scroll up to current time frame. It's going to take us a second to read through the comments because I had to scroll back, and then we're going to catch up.
We already got ads.
Oh, so one of the other things that we give points for is if you get an advertisement, because that's what supports the stream and lets us come to you, is that YouTube likes to be able to show you ads during the stream. So we could say no to that, but who knows if they will show anybody that we're live if we turn off advertising. It's kind of what YouTube is trying to do, is sell advertising slots. So we got to do it. So in honor of your diligence of wading through the ads, we will award you 2 points if you tell us who advertised. And don't just say, I got an advertisement for a car. Tell us the name of the car or the name of the store or the name of the brand. And, you know, we get our 2 pennies and you get your 2 points. So Steve Edwards is here, just got off work. Welcome to the stream.
I wanted to answer a question before it got too far.
Patrick wait.
Okay.
Patrick Sullivan is here. Did I already say Patrick Sullivan? No, I said Tommy Hanlon. Patrick Sullivan. Steve Edwards is here. I already said that. Okay, go ahead. Read the comment.
Mike and I just scrolled away. I knew that was going to happen.
It's gone. You can never go back.
Okay, there we are. Okay, it was Mike N said 83 Mercury Capri. Okay, you can scroll back.
That is an 83 Mercury.
No, it's not.
No.
That is not. But what?
Looks like one.
Make it so it's good again.
Tommy Hanlon says, can you put a link in the chat for your channel?
Okay, I want to answer the question.
Go ahead, answer.
The thumbnail looks like an 83 Mercury Capri, but it's not. It's a notchback Mustang from Mexico. Mexican spec supplied that picture. And in Mexico, the notchback Mustangs, maybe all the Mustangs, had the Capri nose piece on it, which is kind of strange for the U.S. to see that. But anyway, that's what that is on the thumbnail. The one that's behind us right now is an 83 Mustang, but it's a hatchback. I really like the front end on the 83 Mustang, by the way. But anyway, I wanted to clear that up. It's not a Capri, but it looks like a Capri. Go ahead, Kim.
All right. I have included my @KimFixesThings. If you want to see a link to my channel, I think I'll have a video out next week on my channel. But this week we have new full-length videos on this channel, so you can check that out later. Also, I put a link to his email, which he will get almost instantaneously. If you want to send us pictures to your project, or if you have a favorite car, you know, in a color that you like, if you want to search up a picture from 1983 and send it to us to talk about or look at on the channel, we'll put it back here. So you can send that to Dr. Campo at his
And I have my email open here, and I'm looking at it a lot, although sometimes I look at other things. But I am checking that email during the.
And if you're sending an email, try to include your screen name, because your email and your screen name are probably different. So make sure you include your screen name so we know who's who. Because
like if you use a screen name and then the email comes and it says something like Bill Rogers, and I don't know who you are.
We don't know who Bill Rogers is. We thought you were.
I don't want to read your
Garage Rusty Car Revival.
I don't want.
How do we know?
I don't want to read your real name if you know, or your address or anything.
Retired Inspector Bruce had an ad for Factor frozen meals. Ooh, Factor
Oh, Factor.
supports a lot of
They're
people.
supporting a lot of people.
All right, you get 2 points. Mike N got one for Dick's Sporting Goods. We had a good laugh about Dick's Sporting Goods is actually still a business. So thank you to Dick's Sporting Goods for sponsoring the stream tonight. You get your 2 points. Jack Stands and Cinderblocks remind us that he's a super YouTuber, so he does not get ads. And we appreciate that as well. Because when YouTube people who are subscribed to YouTube, watch our channel, it tells YouTube that the subscribers like us. And that helps us as a growing channel.
Not only that, but when you pay for the premium,
Yeah, we get a penny.
we do get a little of that, tiny bit, but we get
Maybe.
some. So
Maybe.
so
We don't
that's
know.
it adds up. So that's
Plus,
that's
all
a,
these kilobits,
that's
there's
that's appreciated.
over 5,000 kilobits per second. Can you even calculate the cost of a kilobit per second? I mean, it adds up, and that's out to all of you. If we had to pay for all those kilobits, where would we be? So the advertisers, they pay for that, and we appreciate them for it.
Are you
Anyone
sitting on a taller chair?
Yes. Looks like a Challenger? No. Well, the shape is a little bit, that's an 80s kind of shape. Yeah. No, I'm just forward. A lot of times I sit back, but I'm having a hard time reading, so I'm just scooching closer and closer. There you go.
It's like a challenge.
Look, I look real big and he looks
no.
really small.
I'm like a little thing.
Now I'm zooming out. All right. So, oh man, I was in the middle of talking about awarding points for advertisers.
I'm sorry.
So, the people who have YouTube Premium, who don't get ads, not if you're using an ad blocker, that doesn't count.
No, that actually
You don't get points.
steals
But if
money
you
from the
pay for
producers.
YouTube Premium and you don't get ads, I'm awarding you right now 3 points. And I might mention that again because you don't get so many opportunities to earn points that way. But if you're here listening now, you get 3 points for being a subscriber to YouTube. That's awesome. Okay. And then, Power Toys is here. Says, hey guys. And we might get a little bit of a slow start here on the number of people watching because I think Tony was on with Cold War Motors. Did anybody watch some of Tony with Cold War Motors?
In fact, yeah, I think that's where
How
Mexican
was that
Spec
going?
is.
Oh, Mexican Spec. Traitor. No.
He got a hold of me and said that there was going to be some overlap in the two lives.
Mexican Spec takes his job seriously. He
So-
tells us when he's not going to be here, and he makes it like it's a professional thing. Like he treats it with professionalism. He really does. Oh,
Kibbles and bits.
Kilobits.
That's what we have going in and out of here. Kibbles and bits.
Yeah. Dog food ain't cheap either. Yeah,
Why
I'm
is
still
that?
tuned in.
That's you.
Oh my, there's people trying to watch both. That's rough. I don't know if I could do that. Although sometimes I do. He sees I'm watching
I've
a
seen
Twitch
it do that.
streamer on one screen. I'm scrolling Facebook Marketplace on another screen, and I'm watching YouTube on a third screen, and I'm just like clicking around. Like when I hear the video game person screaming, I know something's happened, so I click over there, So, hey, let us know if they're talking about something super cool, and we'll just shut down the stream and go over and watch.
Oh no, I'm not going to leave our stream.
You know what? Generally, we don't step on other YouTubers when we can sort of avoid it. This is our time slot. So we felt like it wasn't a good idea to shuffle that. So we're still doing our thing, and a lot of people will file in. Maybe some extra new people will file in when Tony wraps it up. I don't know. They probably won't go more than a couple hours. And they started a lot earlier than
They
us.
started an hour earlier than us.
So,
Yeah.
hey, that's how it goes on YouTube. Sometimes you just have to pick a spot.
Look
and
at that
go.
Mustang. I really like that Mustang. That nose piece on the 83, I think, looks really good. I don't know why. I just really like it. Papa Chewy's here.
Steve Edwards says, I found out that a 4-inch by 8 foot piece of mahogany costs $100 from Home Depot. I mean, it's mahogany.
I forgot to go look at wood today. I got to run out of time.
What did you need?
I want to go the floor for the
we'll get to that. Don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I just forgot it. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that when he talking about wood prices. I was going to go look at that. Just
Tommy
messed up.
Hanlon asks, will the mini bike car jump be on this channel or my channel?
Well,
I think it'll probably
earlier,
be on my channel.
if you scroll back, he was asking about some crazy jump.
Crazy jump? We have to jump the shark.
Scroll back just for a
We'll
second.
use that kiddie pool.
You don't want to scroll back.
I'll scroll back. Let's scroll back.
See what Tommy Hanlon wrote. He's got a bunch of, it's further back.
He had an ad, but he has no idea what it's about. I cannot award you points for that, Tommy. You guys, you have to pay a little attention.
They're right where all those motorcycles are.
Okay. Tommy Hanlon says, so are you going to put all the cars end to end and jump over them on your mini bike with a cape, Kim? Yes, we can.
I just want to see Kim with a cape on a motorcycle.
I could ride the motorcycle with a cape. But yeah. It would take us a week to line all the cars up, you know that. To get them all started and moved around all at the same time.
You wouldn't be able to jump over them. You might be able to, if you got them in the right size order, you might be able to ride over them back.
You know how I could jump over them.
Oh.
I could jump through time and space. Right over them.
Okay, we're missing something, I'm sure.
Oh, we are missing some things. Let's see.
You got to push the blue arrow. There you go. Ah, yeah, okay.
Are we doing Evel Knievel stuff next? Maybe. You never know when we'll decide to truly jump the shark.
Oh, Power Toy says I'm sorry, I got a cough drop in my mouth. It's interfering with my speech. I got my 57 painted. Okay, can you send a picture in it? Do you have of it to us?
Oh yeah, we'd love to see a picture.
Yeah, because we'll put it up.
Send it to buffdelcampo@gmail.com. I will cut and paste that again so that you have... Yeah. A lot of the conversation tonight will be looking at cars from 1983 and talking about them.
But also cars of yours.
Always we want to see viewer cars. So, yeah, if you can, or next week, or whenever, we would love to see them. My 57 got painted. I can't wait to see a picture of that. Buff can go pillion? I don't know what that means. Pulpa Julie is here, says, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Rods, and Streetcars is also here. Says, howdy, everybody. Glad you're here. Mike was reading my shirt, Cafe Ole. And Big Nets say, Cafe du Mondo. I don't know what all that means. I was told this means coffee with cream. Please?
You're wearing it, you don't know what it means. And I put on this is kind of a dark shirt. A reddish shirt, but on here it looks really bright red on the...
Well, you know, you have to do some fancy stuff with the green screen to really make it show. So sometimes the filter does weird things.
I have so many dark green shirts and so many camouflage shirts, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't wear them on Tuesday nights because of the green screen, because it'll just look like my head's moving around. Yeah, it'll look like that. Yeah, that's what happens. My shirt would look like it would be clear.
This is awesome. I didn't even know these were this good.
She's got green gloves. So anything green doesn't show up. You just see through it.
Magic green screen.
Because of green screen. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you can see the grill on that car right through your face. So if I wore a green shirt, that's what would happen. It just looked like my head floating around. I made that mistake once. Oh, geez. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Coffee with milk, please. Yes.
Ah.
Maybe I will make.
And that's what you do. That's what you make.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna enjoy it, it's gonna be a treat every
Paul
time.
says Buffett looks maroon to me. Yeah, it does. It's definitely a darker maroon than it looks like on the screen.
The green screen filter pulls every bit of green out of it, and all that's left is the red. That's
so there's
why
some
it changes.
green in it, and it just disappears it.
Yeah. It disappears it. Yeah, a green screen kind of magical. We have a great big wall that I put green felt on. I went to the fabric store, the Joann Fabrics, before they closed it down. Did you know they're closing that Joann Fabrics
No.
down in Clarksville?
No, I didn't know that.
I like having one. I don't go enough. That's why they closed down, because I didn't support them enough. But that's where I bought all the stuff to recover my seats in my 66 Dart. And that's where we got our green screen. It came right off a roll, and it took a little while for it to roll out. But now that it's rolled out, you have to have lots of light. Our studio is so bright, it is, you get a tan off of it after a while, and it gets warm in here from so much wattage. It's a good thing that LED lights
LEDs
exist.
have saved us from so much wattage. Yep.
Can you imagine the cost of running all these lights if they weren't LEDs?
It'd get warm. It'd be warm in here.
We got a lot of lumens, I'll tell you that. And we have lights behind the monitors and beside us and below us so that our chins don't look as dark and red. Anyway, the cheesy 51,
Power
Patrick
toys.
Sullivan said.
Power toys. So I'm
Remember the movie The Invisible Man? I do a little. I just remember there was a movie, The Invisible Man.
Everybody, I'm doing emails not in order. Sorry about that, but I'm grabbing Power Toys first because he just got his car painted. So I'm going to bring that up. I just downloaded the pictures. Oh, what happened? It only downloaded one of them.
So I think we've done a full 20 minutes of chit chat and announcements and starters. And how many pictures do we have? I want to get a scope.
Got a lot.
Are they all from Buddy Carafano?
We got a lot from Buddy Carafano. He sent a lot of pictures.
Buddy, thank you for sending so many pictures.
Okay, so this is, you might want to shrink us down.
Yeah,
This
I'll
is
throw us off the side. Now, this is the part of the show where
Power
we start
Toys.
showing you stuff that's cool.
Power
And,
Toys car.
we are not the highlight of this as much. There you go. Look at that. That's a pretty car. Oh, that's his 50.
57 Chevy.
Wow.
Got it. Said he just got it painted.
Oh, yeah, you can see there's a little bit of paint on the front tire.
And there's another picture of it there.
Wow, that's awesome.
But I'm going to go back to the last one. Yeah, it's pretty
Power
good.
Tours, are you just a connoisseur of fine cars? Or do you also have a channel where you
Power
do
Tours.
stuff?
Who's Power Tour? Or Power Toys? Who you talking to, Kim?
Power Toys.
Toys, okay.
Yeah. I sent my car over. First full car paint job for me.
You
Did you
did-
do the paint?
You did it
have...
yourself?
I mean, pictures always make things kind of look a little better or a little worse than what they are. Like some of the cars we have look really nice and they're garbage. So, did it turn out good? It looks fantastic in pictures, I gotta say. I'm envious. That is a heck of a ride. Well, heck, even if it does look bad, it's a good
Doesn't
10
look
footer.
bad.
No
Doesn't
matter
look
what.
bad. It looks
You know,
great.
I could see some of the chrome. It has patina, and that's, hey,
Well,
that's just part of the character.
And it's a two-tone. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That place in the back that a lot of times on 57 Chevys has a piece of trim in there. And he's got it painted white, which I kind of like that. I kind of like the white paint back there better than that piece of that stuff that goes back there on
What
the
might
rear
have been
quarter.
destroyed.
Yeah, but I think it looks better with the paint. So I've done two tones, older cars with white, and I did a 56 Chevy or 56 Ford that was white and blue, and it looked okay. It was actually the first car I painted myself in my dad's garage. After he told me, "Do not paint that car in there," and they left for the weekend, and it came back and it was old enamel, so it was all sticky and it was all over the ceiling. And oh man, was he mad!
When I was a kid, many years ago, I had a Chevette, and it was brown, and the paint had caked, you know what I mean, and cracked. So we scraped as much of that off as we could, and then I got blue. What's the darker blue, like royal blue? Spray paint. I bought 8 cans of spray paint, painted that whole car in the garage.
With spray paint.
And I was coughing up blue, blew in my nose, and the fan was all blue, and the whole inside of the garage was just dusting with blue. It was such a sticky mess. I had no idea.
C says that $600 budget.
That's fantastic for $600. Winning.
What kind of paint?
Winning.
I'm wondering what kind of paint you used. What kind of paint is that? It's a 210. Yeah, 57 Chevy 210. Yeah. When I was a kid, those things were all over the place. But now, man, when I was a little kid, there weren't even any cars that old. There was horse and buggies that far back. But yeah, that was a new car when I was 3, and I was really in it. By the time I was 4 or 5, I knew every car on the road. So yeah, I remember those really well. People just drove them every day. That was their daily driver.
Power Toys. The other thing that I love to see is a good before and after photo. Do you have any pictures from before the paint job that we can compare them up? If not, that's okay. But if you do, definitely send us a couple of those too, so we can show before and after, because that's awesome. Acrylic enamel.
That means you probably had some stickiness on you, unless you were dressed real well.
Did you use some hardener in it? Pole Barn Garage taught me that you can put hardener in some things, and that makes it better.
Hardener works really well in acrylic enamel.
They're talking about the old TV shows with invisible people. Tommy Hanlon says the 70s program, The Gemini Man, he pressed a button on his digital watch to become invisible. Most kids of the time didn't even have a watch, never mind a digital one. Yeah, Dick Tracy had the radio watch. He could talk. That's cool. Becoming invisible is a lot of people's like superpower of choice. If they had a superpower, that's okay. Be brief, but if you have a superpower that you would love to have, if you like had to pick a superpower, what would it be?
Super Kim?
What would it be?
Okay, Buddy Carafano sent this 83 Camaro, but it's not centered real well, and I can't do anything about it.
Oh, that's me. That's me. I was just centering up that last picture.
Yeah, see. So
83.
That's a nice looking car, isn't it?
That looks like a little later. You sure that's not a 93?
No,
that's a car.
That's a third gen, which came out. When did the third gen Camaro come out? 81, 82. I think it was 82. So yeah, that was a fairly new car then. I mean, a fairly new body style then. I liked those a lot when they came out. I had a pretty good job then, where I was making enough money to buy a car, and I was gonna buy either one of those or a Firebird. And then there was a guy who had a Bricklin for sale that I really liked, and I ended up, I had a family, so you know what I bought? A Dodge Omni, a 4-door Omni, because that fit this didn't fit the mission.
Mike wants the vision that he had when he was 26. There you go. Junkyard D is here. Welcome to the stream. Good evening to you as well. Mike N says, not too super. Yeah, the vision. I get a lot of squinty. I never had all that good a vision.
But he also sent in the other car I was talking about, that same era. There's an 83.
Oh, it has the woo woo.
Oh yeah, somebody put the kit.
The kit.
The kit kit.
The car that talks to you. Everybody thought that was so cool, but now if you think about it, like,
it's pretty silly.
Well, people don't really want their car to talk to them.
The generations, now they talk to you.
That's great. You made the cars talk. Now make it shut up.
I think I was in Ohio, and I was walking down the street, and a bunch of cars parked like nosed into the curb. And as I'm walking by one of them, the car says to me rather loudly, "Step back from this car." So there was something in there that sensed me walking by, and it yelled at me, "Step back from this car." Really? I'm allowed to walk here. This third gen is my son's favorite. That's what Patrick Sullivan said. I'm a first gen and early second. I had 2 first gen. I had a 67 and a 69, but I don't think I've had any others. I think those are the only one. And then My son had a 68 Firebird, but it was here on this property for a long time, and people kept stopping, wanting to buy it, and he finally sold it to somebody. But I kind of wish we hadn't lost that car.
Blue Grit says, good eyesight is a superpower I need right now, looking at you two on my phone. Yeah, the stream is a lot more entertaining if you have a bigger screen to watch on. We try and keep it as visually compelling as possible. And, you know, looking at our statistics, we do look at our statistic on YouTube a little bit. A lot of people watch on their phone, and that's really difficult. I can't do it. That I give myself a headache staring at YouTube lives on my phone. Although I will listen to a YouTube live on my phone. A lot of times, lives are not so. There's not so much to see. It's just people talking, and I'll put that on.
Earlier, talking about the 83 Charger. There's the 83 Charger. Yeah, that buddy sent in the cars we're talking about. So that's what the Charger looks like. And it does look, kind of has a similar shape to that Mustang.
Well, Power Toys got a Credit Karma ad. You get 2 points. Patrick Sullivan says, looks like Uncle Tony is winding down. All right, so we're going to get some people in here, and I may have to repeat myself a little bit about the rules or anything like that. So I apologize. Kit was an 82, but the A-Team van was an 83. Oh, we will have to bring up the A-Team van if it was an 83.
Okay, but before you do that,
yes,
we got to zoom out on it somehow. Power Toys sent in the before pictures. We already saw the after pictures.
Oh, okay, let me get a smaller screen so we can fit there. Ho, well.
Yeah, definitely.
The paint job dressed it up real
definitely
good.
An improvement. And then there's another picture of it.
Some people really like the patina, but I gotta say, it looks really good.
I didn't notice the gold on those. I don't know what you call those hood ornament things on the 57. I always think of a hood ornament as like a bird or a woman that's like an old Packard. So I guess those are hood ornaments. They look like a couple of rockets or something, but they're gold. Yeah, what's on the windshield? Is that tinted down below, or I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh, it does look like, is that the dash or is that
Yeah, what's going on with the windshield there?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. It looks fantastic. What a transformation. How are you ever going to clean that garage door?
Look at the floor. Look at the floor. That looks like what I did in my dad's garage in whenever it was 1970 or 71. When I painted my first car, the 56 Ford, the floor looked like that. And he came home. He told me not to paint that car in the garage. Did you paint that car in here?
No, I didn't see
anything. And then he was probably more mad at me for lying to him. Hood rockets. Yeah, they're hood rockets.
Mike N gets 2 points for calling out X-Tool and Coastal Mississippi, who have sponsored us tonight through advertising. Thank you very much to Mike and to the advertisers for letting us know. I did grab a picture of the A-Team van, Junkyard D. What I want to do is because we don't have, we don't got...
Power Toys, my parents are mad as well. Is that your parents' garage?
Oops. Tell them that protects the floor. That's good for it.
Protection for the floor.
That's good for it.
I didn't think of that.
It keeps it from absorbing water.
My father, he had 3-car garages. It was an almost new house, beautiful concrete slab. And I had a 292 Ford in there, the head's off of it. He says, don't be taking that apart in here. I don't want any oil on the garage floor. No, don't worry. So I drained the oil out and let it drain for a long time. And then I flipped it over to take the pan off. Well, there's all kinds of oil hiding in there. And I watched the puddle just grow to about 2 feet in diameter, and I was doing everything I could to wipe it out. Didn't know about kitty litter then. And so I ruined his floor. I don't think he liked me doing anything with cars, because I made a mess. Yeah, it does look good. And the top, and you flowed that out nicely, because the top looks shiny. And I don't do in a top working across with a paint gun. It's real easy to get a fog in the middle where you get overspray, and that one looks really good. So you kept it wet. Looks nice.
Power Toys. I believe that this is a link to your channel. Guys, check out Power Toys channel on YouTube. I put up a link there. That looks like the car, does it not? I should just bring up the screen. There it is right there.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, there's Power Toys. I'm already subscribed to his channel.
Fantastic. I wasn't. So now we're both subscribed. And yeah, guys. Oh, I gotta go back.
Yeah, I'm looking at a video right there. So I'm gonna click back out of it for now. Oh, it's got a 6-cylinder in it. Do you see that? Really nice looking 6-cylinder.
All right. Well, don't spoil it too much.
Yeah, okay.
Just act ignorant about the floor. Like, how did that get
Yeah,
there?
I don't know how it got there.
The floor won't rust. Exactly. See, you guys know the things. You know what to say.
I didn't know because I was new at that. I was just starting to ruin the garage.
Blue Grit, were you out racing your car this past weekend? Did I see a video about, did I watch an entire video about autocross? Or was that not Blue Grit? I get names confused sometimes. If I'm not, make sure you tell me about it. I will throw up a link to yours as well.
Patrick Sullivan says he subbed as well.
Check it out. It's probably interesting. I can't wait to see it when I have a moment here. I want to look at the A-Team van. Junkyard D mentioned it. It's on topic. So I'm going to pivot. Is that okay? Am I allowed to do that?
Oh, yeah, bring it up.
There it is. You guys remember the A-Team van?
Ah, yes.
They're the A-Team. They got Mr. T and Hannibal and
Mr.
Hannibal
T.
Lecter. Why was Hannibal Lecter part of the
I
A-Team?
don't know. Mr. T was pretty cool.
I think that was before him, Hannibal Lecter. There it is. Who has recently built a tribute car to the A-Team? There's some iconic cars from the early 80s.
Didn't they have a nice helicopter?
Knight Rider, A-Team. Vans are back. Vans are tough. They're a tough sell. There's a lot of people who are anti-van. Vans kick butt. I like my van, but nobody really watched any of the content I made on the van. So I don't know what that was about. All right. So where I pity the fool. That's right. Mr. T does pity the fool. The A-Team kickball. Murdoch was the base. Boy, I don't really remember. I must have watched every episode of the A-Team at least one season or something like that. Honestly, I don't remember any of it. I remember they built a helicopter out of like scrap metal on the one thing so that they could do whatever the thing was that they were supposed to do. They were always doing like some kind of like, not challenge, but they had to, I don't really remember. That's the thing. I guess I was pretty young. That was in the 80s, early 80s. I love it when a plan comes together. That sounds like it.
That's what we're trying to do with the Triumph. No, it's not a Triumph. Yeah, it is a Triumph. Spitfire.
Jack Stands in Cinderblock says Buff's Garage built an A. Not this Buff. The other Buff.
Oh, yeah, the other Buff.
Yeah. He built an A-Team van. So if you guys want to see an A-Team van build,
I think Buff's Garage. I think Buff is something, part of his last name or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. We tried
a different Buff
to sue for copyright infringement. And he said, all right, you can have half of the money that I've made. And see, half of nothing is still nothing. So we decided to just let him be himself. So he is Buff and he is Buff. Like, what am I going to do? Chase after everybody named Kim and be like, but I'm Kim. No, names are names. We got this. We got this. No, we are no, Buff is great. And wasn't Buff Garage, wasn't he working with Pole Barn? He's blowing up.
I don't know. He's
blowing up. That guy's famous. Wildly famous and successful. Good for him. Okay.
Luis Miguel Suarez Barrios. I hope I pronounced that right. Hi there, Buff and Kim. I'm here.
Cutter Down Garage is here. Welcome to the stream. I
Oh,
have a Bumblebee Camaro here, 71.
send us
Oh,
a picture,
nice. Nice. Yeah, where's the pictures?
Luis. So, what about the '81 DMC DeLorean? I don't know. What about it? They were still around in '83. I guess we could.
We could do. I'll pull up a DeLorean. Go ahead and pull something else up in the
I did. I
meantime.
pulled that up, but you
Okay,
haven't
I'll
flipped all
bring
the.
over your picture, and I will find a picture
This
of
is
a
another one Buddy Carfano sent
of a
in.
DeLorean.
It's an '83 Buick Riviera. That actually looks good as a convertible. Yeah, that was the last year, wasn't it, for the DeLorean?
Well, I don't know.
I think so. I think they made it through 3 model years. And they're all about, there may have been differences, but they look the same to me.
Junkyard D says one of the No Name 500 contenders this year has an A-Team van. I think there's only 2 of them.
Aren't they going to race vans this year?
They've talked about it, but I haven't kept up because what we're doing for the event has been very much in motion. Like we have more vehicles than we have people to drive. And I really don't want to drive multiple vehicles. It's a lot of work. So unless we can find like a couple of additional people to drive vehicles to the event, then we're going to have to pick. And I think we're going to pick the drivers, like my Dart.
Yeah, I think it'll be the Mustang.
Zephyr.
Ford.
His Ford, my Dodge. Although I love my van, but I just don't know if we have what it takes to bring all those vehicles.
What is this? Should I stay or should I go? We got the beat. Oh.
Who let the dogs out?
So anyway, Buddy Carfano says that he sent this picture in, and he said that his mom had the same Riviera.
Oh, okay. Now, is this a front-wheel drive car?
Yes.
So that's a great big V8.
Yeah, but it's kind of a medium-sized car. It's not the biggest Rivieras. They were kind of an intermediate-sized car. Although by today's standards, it might be considered as big. I don't know. Cars got big again, so maybe not. Cutter Down Garage says, I'll drive for you. Where are you? I should know where he is, but I don't know where he is.
Like it's a real thing I've mentioned before that we have extra vehicles, and if you can get yourself to Clarksville, Tennessee, or to the airport in Nashville, I guess we can bring you up here, and you could drive to Sykeston in the vehicle, but you would be responsible to like pay for your fuel and tech the vehicle, and take it through the stuff. You obviously also have to have your 500 subscribers so you can be registered for the event and pay your registration and that kind of stuff. Like we're not independently wealthy where we can pay someone to do that for us. But if you are motivated to do that but you cannot get anywhere near here with the vehicles that you have, it's a possibility then.
It's unfortunate nothing is near Pittsburgh. She's from Pittsburgh, but she moved to Tennessee. Cutter Down Garage says New York. New York's big.
I'm from Pittsburgh, yeah. That's why I moved here, because nothing's near Pittsburgh.
Pre-trip inspection. It seems like no matter what you do, there's something catches you while you're there. We took her Dart last year, and if any of you were following then, we got there and it started leaking. We knew it had a little oil leak, and we'd have to do something about it. But by the time we got there, it was coming out as fast as we were putting it in, We ended up not running it. We could take that out on the track with an oil leak. So we ended up driving it back and buying gallons of oil and pouring it in and driving to the next gas station, pouring more oil in. And it actually got us back because the Mazda got wrecked on the way back. So it got us home. So now it's got a fresh engine in it. It's got a fresh transmission in it. And it should be able to just drive there.
Florida is going to be cheap in the next year or maybe 2 as the market
who knows?
Deflates.
You never know.
It is real possible that the market there could become very soft.
You never know what's going to happen.
That is true as well.
This is not financial advice. There could be surprises.
There's going to be powers that be that do not want it to happen, and they will kick and scream. So they may do something that changes that whole thing. Cutterdown asks if there's any good real estate near us. There, so
Oh,
Clarksville,
Dizzy Izzy?
Tennessee.
Dizzy Izzy's got a piece of property around here, somewhere
Yeah,
south of
it's
here.
near Paris, I believe.
Yeah.
Paris, Tennessee is not that near us. It's like an hour, more than an hour away. Clarksville is a lovely, sleepy little suburban town
So it's 160,000 people.
with strip malls and a couple of restaurants and lots of housing. And there's a military base north of us.
Military base and
And a college, a really good college,
and
I
two
guess.
colleges. There's a big university, and there's a smaller college, and there's the military, of course, and there's a couple of big manufacturers here. Budweiser, if you can consider them a manufacturer, they manufacture beer. There's
Is it Train that does-
Train that does the heating, air conditioning stuff. Who else is here?
Is it the tire
The
place?
tires. Who's the tire? Yeah,
Hankook?
Hankook.
Hankook?
Hankook tires.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Kroger's Supermarket?
There are
There
Krogers.
Krogers.
There are Krogers here, but they're
But-
not based here.
But so it's a lovely place to live, and I think the schools here are pretty good. It's a suburban kind of community, and I there's so much military here. Like everybody's got a gun, so nobody is dumb enough to try anything. So there's not really a lot of
Not a lot of violence.
or it's a very quiet sort of
Well,
place.
And,
And
a
but the
military.
housing values are very, very high right now. They're very, very high right now.
Well,
We've been here. Well, he has been
wait a
here
minute.
way before that started to happen.
compared to other places, I don't think it's that high. For here, it seems high.
But well, that's the thing. For being here, like you're an hour from Nashville, and it's a very sleepy town. So depending on what you want to do in your life,
Take the last train, the other
to
kind of train,
Clarksville,
to Clarksville.
and I'll sell you all the copper. Oh my. An
Last
armed
kind of-
society is a polite society. Yeah, F around, find out, because there is always there are plenty of people in the crowd who are just waiting for something to happen so that their training and skills can kick in. And I feel very safe around here because these people are, they're not gonna, no.
He said something up here that I usually don't. I don't want to strain into politics too
Sorry.
much, but he says here, anything is better than communist PA. The comment I have about that is every state I've lived in, which is a lot of them, they all have something good and they all have things that are not so good. And one of the things I liked about PA, because I was a pilot and I was flying on floats, airplanes that land on the water, is in PA, you can land on any lake unless it says not to. And right next door in Ohio, you're not allowed to land on any lake unless it says you can. And there aren't very many where it says you can. But I worked for a guy, we did float planes, and that's how I got my float plane rating, was working for him. And we could land on any body of water unless it said not to, which I thought was pretty cool. So, I don't know. I can understand why you might say that. All states have good and bad. All of them have good and bad.
Olive came in while I was chatting. Welcome to the stream. Olive, Johnny C says, it looks so tranquil on your drive to the post office. I watched it twice.
Oh, I
I
missed
live
that.
in CA Bay area. What a mess. Yeah, compared to that. Now, if you need to drive into Nashville, right? Once you get really close to downtown Nashville, it becomes really chaotic and kind of scary. There's lots of roads, big wide roads with people coming in and
City.
out. and
It's a
stuff like that.
it's a typical city on the highways. But once you get into town, I mean, it's the music capital of the world, so it's a pretty interesting place. A lot of good restaurants, a lot of places to
But
go.
compared to lots of major cities, Nashville's very small. Still, I mean, it's a big city, but it's still a very small area. There's lots of rural. We're an hour away, and it's rural. There's cows next door.
Yeah, we have
You
our,
know.
our neighbors' cows.
And our largest industry here is building new residential housing. I swear. That's the whole place is
It's
run
growing.
on making housing plans. That's what's happening in Clarksville. But it's a nice place to live. And until they build it all up, it will
Well,
continue to be, I
and
believe.
we're not in Clarksville. We're away from Clarksville a little bit. Clarksville's the nearest city to us.
Yeah.
So when
The
we
nearest dot on the map is Clarksville.
so when I go to the doctor or we go grocery store, maybe Clarksville, we really don't even get all the way into Clarksville when we go to the store. We are in what is this? Cumberland County. We are in
Cumberland's just west of us, isn't
we're
it?
in Montgomery County.
Yeah. But Cumberland's just
Clarksville
west
is
of us.
Montgomery County.
We bounce over there for some things. Cutter Down says
And the Cumberland River goes through here.
it does. It's really amazing. We need to check out the river a little better. I'm not buying a boat, but there's people with boats. We could like hang out with somebody who has a boat. That'd be cool.
Go and find somebody who has a boat, hang out with them.
Well,
what the only time you and I went to the river, near the river,
yeah.
that's when we caught the snake in the house and we drove
We
over
took
there.
it to the river.
We took
dropped it off.
I dropped the snake off over there
It's
because
a relocation.
I figured
project.
there was a lot of area where there's probably mice and things you can eat, and there was some water, and I thought, well, better than living in our house. So it was a big old black racer. We took him over there.
Cutter Down says, I enjoy your case skid steer. Me too. It was expensive. I paid too much for it, but it has a good motor. It sits outside. I gotta get a shed for that thing. I hate leaving it sit outside. But now I had to replace one of the pumps, hydraulic pumps, and now I can put it to work. I don't push it too hard because it's a very old machine. I think it's probably from the 80s. Didn't we figure out that it's from like 1986 or something like that? It's a very old machine. Sometimes I call it the chicken shit because it came from a chicken farm and it spent its whole life. That's why it doesn't have this rollover protection, because they needed to fit it into the barn. So they had to take the rollover protection so it was shorter.
I noticed. See, I wanted you to answer that, reply to that comment, and then I looked and you did.
I answered it
you
as
did,
you
but I
know.
didn't. But I didn't understand what the question was actually. But I figured you would, so you did it. Let's see here. I'm envious. Just looks like a perfect place. Small home. Okay, it's an old hillbilly house.
It's
which
kind of,
has
we're
its
working
issues.
on it.
It has its issues. So we kind of work on the house.
There's some deferred maintenance that
Deferred
we're
maintenance. That's it.
slowly creeping up on.
And
Thank you,
then-
Johnny C. We do love it here. We're doing our best to take advantage of our situation. And it is not perfect. And it is not like idyllic as it might look. We try not to I noticed that video that the short we did today, that you put up today of you pressure washing.
Yeah.
You can see some of the front of the house and there's weeds all growing up on the house. And I'm like,
Well,
that
that's
looks terrible.
this time of year.
That looks
The
terrible.
vines start growing up the side of the house. We got to cut them down, and then they do it again and again and again. And of course, we're not full-time vine cutters. We're full-time car people. So sometimes the vines get ahead of us a little bit. Let's see. Do you have emissions? It's a cash grab up here. Do we
do not
have emissions? You mean like as testing? No emissions testing.
No testing. There is also no state inspection. Like, you buy your vehicle and you are responsible to maintain it. Now, if you were driving something on the road that was stupid and a danger to people around you, I'm sure that the police would feel obliged to stop you and question you about it, because I'm pretty sure the law states that you have to maintain your vehicle properly, but there's no scheduled test on that. You're just on your honor to make sure you're not dumb. Now, compared to Pennsylvania, where they salt aggressively in the wintertime, the vehicles that are born and raised here, 20 years down the road, there is still no rust. None. Nothing rusts. They still have the paint on the underside of them. And so it's easier to keep a vehicle safe. Vehicles generally here, they run up the miles so high and people delay maintenance, and then they leak all the coolant out, and the cylinder head warps, and now the motor's bad, and it's already got 200,000 miles, and they just scrap it.
Earlier,
Yeah.
I put this up before you put up the DeLorean. But
Yeah.
The DeLorean never made it up.
I know. You want me to
I
put
was
it up
thinking
now?
maybe you could put it up.
Sure,
so
that'll
it's
change
there
up
in the
the
background.
picture.
It's there in the background.
Yeah.
It's just we've been looking at this rib for a while.
Here's
Yeah,
the
there. Somebody
DeLorean.
asked about 83 DeLorean or 81, but 83 was the last year, so there it is.
Pretty neat. Okay.
And there's a red one over there somebody painted. I always liked the DeLoreans after they were painted, but they were brushed stainless.
I really am not an advocate of chopping your catalytic converters off a car or disabling your factory emission systems. If you have a good running vehicle, just let it be. Don't mess with it. That's my opinion on it. Like you're incredibly devaluing your car if you chop the oxygen sensor and all the pollution control off of it. You're gonna have a hard
And then
time
it doesn't run right.
right, and then you're gonna have to reprogram the computer and add a bunch of stuff. It's like unless your job, your whole goal is because you're building performance cars, and then maybe, but if you're just driving a car, leave it be. The factory made it run good. Let that be. And a lot of people around here are of the opinion that they're going to chop all that off and it's going to run better, and
That might not be the case.
it's often
Somebody,
not the case.
my van, I went out there to start my van one morning, started up, and it's blah, 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 it's loud. And I'd been gone for a few weeks. So somebody, during the couple of weeks I was gone, had crawled under my van and stolen a catalytic converter. So I bought a catalytic converter and put it back rather than just bypassing it. I thought, it runs so good the way it is. There's oxygen sensor ahead, oxygen sensor behind it. Just give the computer modules the information it wants and put it back the way it was. And I have not regretted that. So, yeah, I kind of leave things the way they were. Now, you have a car let's say you're building an engine for it to race. Yeah, of course you're not going to do that stuff.
Johnny C says, I'm surprised that CA, what is CA?
Well, it's probably California. It could be Canada, but it's probably California. Doesn't have safety inspections. We have biannual smogs. Yeah,
That's not California, is it?
Yeah, it is. California,
Oh.
that's exactly what they do. They call it a smog inspection. Everywhere else they call it an emission inspection. But yeah, when I was there many, many years ago, like 40 years ago, maybe even more than that, when I was living in California, the California Highway Patrol would have these inspections off the side of the road. You come over a hill and they wave you into it. It's like, oh. And some cars they let them by, and then the older cars look like there's trouble. They check the brakes and they check all the lights and all that kind of stuff. And if you had problems, they write you a ticket. I remember working in a brake shop and there was a Volkswagen bus. This was in the 70s. There's a Volkswagen bus rolled into one of those highway patrol inspections, and it had no parking brake and no service brakes. So it had no brakes. And they'd stop it just by slowing down, shifting down, shifting down, shifting down, and let it roll to a stop. Well, you can imagine what Highway Patrol did with that thing. You're done right there. They tow it somewhere, and it got towed into our shop, and we had to fix, they paid us to fix the brakes. But so they were checking that stuff. I can't believe people drive around with no brakes whatsoever. That's kind of crazy.
Power Toys, I'm from Pittsburgh, so I understand what you're saying about inspections. He said the issue is if you have a check engine light on for anything, they won't pass your inspection. Right, it fails. Which is hard for low-income people to legally drive their car. It is. It's more expensive to own and drive and maintain a car in Pennsylvania than it is someplace like Tennessee.
Or Ohio.
Absolutely. It can be tough.
When
I fought with that with older cars most of my life before I got here. And one of the things that if you, I don't know if it's still this way, but when I left, it was still this way. If you drove under 5,000 miles a year, you could get a mileage exemption, or there was a certain limit to how much money that you could spend to try and get your car to pass your emissions. And if it didn't, you could get an exemption on, well, you've invested money in it, so you can get, so if you work with your shop, sometimes they can help you with one of those exemptions, especially on an older car. And go ahead. I think those are the things I wanted to say about Pennsylvania inspections. It's tough. It really is.
I'm reading chats. I'm seeing new things up here. Junkyard D says the 83 Corvette was one of his favorite cars, for a Chevy anyway. 83 Corvette, there's one left. It's in the Corvette Museum. I've seen it. I've seen it twice, and it is there. And there were like it was like a pilot run. I don't know how many cars it was, but they saved one. There's stories about it on the internet. Why that one was saved, and it's on display there, which is pretty cool. And it was the car that was. They were really late getting it done, and they really didn't have it ready until I think April or so of '83. So when they brought it out, they called it an '84 model. So Corvette went from '82 models to '84 that you could buy. But that one, yeah, see right there, it says the one that's right above your head, Kim. That I think that's in the Corvette Museum right there.
Oh, that's a picture of the Corvette
That's
Museum.
the Corvette in the museum, and it's got a different set of wheels on it. That's kind of a, that one doesn't. But the one that's where is it? Right there. I can't point to it. That one right there has the weird '83 wheels that were only the '83, and that's the one that's in the museum. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, the one that's right next to my head says the one and only '83 Corvette. Yep.
Pretty neat. And the Corvette Museum is a fun place to go in where? Green.
They're in Kentucky.
Kentucky. And
They're why'd you say green? They're in somebody help me. Somebody's gonna get some points here. Somebody help me. Where's the Corvette factory and the Corvette Museum? They're about a mile apart.
Jack Stands in Cinderblock says, I have 8 vehicles old enough to register as an antique. Sorry, 10 antiques. So we have some vehicles that are Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, Junkyard
you,
D gets the points.
You get 2 points for saying Bowling Green.
So
because
Bowling Green, Kentucky's about an hour from here.
Olive, I'll give you 2 points too because you were already typing it.
So several times I've driven up there. Man, it's been a year and a half. Remember when my friend Steve was here from out west? And he and I drove up there and we actually took the tour. I've never taken the guided tour through there before, but he paid for it. So I was like, okay, I guess we're going on a guided tour. It was really good. We all put on these little headsets so you could hear the guy that was walking us around. And he told us some stories that I didn't know, so it was pretty good. And so twice I've walked through it on my own. Once I've walked through it on a guided tour. And if you're anywhere near Bowling Green, Kentucky, it's a worthwhile stop.
And they have an '83 Corvette, the only one.
And of course, the problem with a place like that is if you're traveling, you end up spending too many hours there because you can't see it all in a day, if you're a detailed kind of person.
Tim, welcome to the stream. Tim says my birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday! He says he's not exempt. He has to go in for his annual inspection tomorrow. Hopefully it's not a tailpipe inspection.
Oh, God, Kim.
Whew.
Paul Pajui, Buck.
We are an hour in, folks. It's fun. It's going so
Buck,
fast.
did you know
I hope you're having a good time. Thanks for being here.
Pete Booty or Body or somebody from Clarksville? No.
Not yet.
I don't. Clarksville's, like I said, 160 or maybe 165,000 people. And I moved here 19 years ago, but then I was out running around, worked for a company that sent me all over the place. So I didn't start spending a lot of time here until, 3 years ago? Probably 4 or 5 years ago. I retired. Then I decided I didn't really want to go anywhere, but I went to work a couple of times. And some of you probably remember when I first retired and I was here and I was doing lives with UTG. So some of you remember that. I was on his live shows every Sunday night for probably a year and a half maybe. But then I had to go back to work. But then since Kim's been here, I don't want to go to work some other place. I want to just work on our stuff here. Oh, you're putting up another.
Someone requested the
you're putting up the email to the link to my email. I was joking about the '83 model. I was not aware of the.
See, you learned something.
Museum. See, I thought you knew.
Sometimes it's a good idea to open your mouth, and you
were joking. You were joking like there wasn't one.
I learn stuff all the time. You guys teach me all kinds of stuff about cars that I I never knew. I wouldn't even think to look.
So
So it's cool.
so they're oh, he used to rebuild Honda Goldwing carburetors. Oh, yeah, well, it's probably not somebody I'd run into because although I like those engines, I could run into him someday if we put a Goldwing engine in something.
There have been a couple times you've talked about using a Goldwing engine for another project because it's such a small little
It's a nice little engine, has
engine.
a lot
And
of power, and it's got a transmission.
these hobby cars we're building, small is better because we only have a little bit of room in the garage and it's easier to move them around. It's easier to work around them and do camera work, and it's less materials to put them together. So there's lots of good advantages of having a small drivetrain. You know, if you're building muscle cars, you use the biggest engine you can get. When you're building hobby cars, all you need is something little to get it around the yard or around the show or on and off the trailer.
I don't
Cut
know.
it.
I don't know how many here are following the current project we have going that we're starting is the Triumph Spitfire, and we took its old rusty body. It's no good. We
I
pulled
wanted
it
to
off.
call the project the Futura fire, but he wouldn't. He doesn't allow it.
So we pulled it off, and now it's been pressure washed. That was my short this morning, pressure washing that frame, and we're going to build up an aluminum car on it with my hopefully with my sheet metal skills from building airplanes for many years. So we'll build a nice little car. Be a nice little small sports car, about the size of a Spitfire. You know,
Cutter Down Garage says I had a 3-hour live going this morning pulling a 350 out of a 70 Chevy step van, all aluminum. Oh, the
oh,
aluminum step van. You were pulling the Chevy 350 out of it.
so to come out through the
Are you going to fix it, rebuild it? I'm sorry we missed it.
did it come out through the side of the vehicle or out the front or the bottom? I don't know how that would come out. I'm not that familiar with them, but I kind of like those.
I have a feeling Jack Stands in Cinderblocks is going to be sending you something in your email.
I'm looking, but I don't see anything yet.
Cutter Down Garage wants to strip the paint off of the aluminum. What's a good way to strip the paint off of aluminum? He used to work on airplanes, so he probably one of the better people to talk to.
There's some stuff called aircraft remover that doesn't remove aircraft, but it removes paint from aircraft. You can buy that. It comes in gallon cans. And then you got to clean it all off, of course. And it's going to make a mess, and you could have somebody to scoop up the mess and throw it away so it doesn't kill your lawn or whatever. Okay, who's this?
Luis Miguel is quoting from, it looks like the Rugrats movie. I don't know.
Who's it here? I'm trying to get this straightened out here.
Who just sent you? I'll bet you it's Jack Stands in Cinderblocks. Is it? Maybe. Pop it up. Pop the picture up and let's see who it is. They can claim
Well, we got a
it.
name on it that doesn't make sense.
Well, pop the picture up and they can claim it.
Yeah, put your screen name on this stuff so I know who you are, because I don't want to use your real name if you don't.
Cutter Down is gonna go out the front door, but not finished. Just unbolted. It takes
Out from the door,
you
but
know,
not yet. Just
people
unbolted. Okay.
who have not had a lot of experience or it's been a while, they forget how involved it can be to pull a motor.
But you have to change though.
I do. I'll get there. Okay. Somebody's got a square body Chevy on the dolly. That's Jack Stands in Cinderblocks, we think. That ought to be a good project. What is it? Is it oh.
Is that Jack Stands in?
I don't know. Is that a Toyota?
It's same email but different truck.
Oh. No, it's not. Yeah, different truck.
Oh, you put a screen name.
I wanted a Toyota 4x4. That looks like fun.
Should be me. I put screen name in the title of the email. Okay, let me look back. Because I'm a big dummy.
He says, yes, that's me. So there you go. Great. Thank you for sending the picture. You want to tell us about that little 4x4? Little 4x4? I'm trying to work on my Bronco too. And I got some supplies. And oh, I'm going to get my supplies because it's colorful, and that's always a good thing. You hold down the fort.
The round eye is an 82. The squeeze. Luis says, well, that movie was called Rugrats Go Wild. Jackdown says, Square Lights is an 83. Forerunner is an 86.
Oh, nice.
Okay, then.
Do you have property where you can ride them out there? Jack stands. I'm gonna get that Bronco running, and when Bronco 2 running, and when I do, my Bronco 2, it's a Bronco 2, so it's the smaller one, and it is a 1985, I believe, and it now has the engine of an 86 or 87 Ford Ranger. So I need to do some modifications to the fuel injection system, namely a fuel injection delete, so that I can.
Those are sitting on 8 acres. 8 acres is nice.
8 acres? Well, it depends. Like, we have 4, but it's really not good for.
Yeah, ours is really hilly like this.
And we don't want to tear it up because of the way that it's situated.
And
our neighbors wouldn't appreciate
some of our, about half of our 4 acres is being farmed. So, and not by me. Yeah, it's an agreement I have with a guy, and he takes care of it.
So I bought some. Can you see the colors? Maybe I'll make it a little bigger.
This is Junkyard D's.
It's a Harley. That's a nice
That's
Harley.
a Sportster, and then there's another one.
Look at the pretty paint. Ghost flames, man. Small one will wheel anywhere. I've been told too that the Bronco 2s are capable off-road vehicles. So I'd love to get it running again. I had it running, but the engine was just blowing coolant out. And I took the heads off and put new head gaskets in, and it's still doing it, even though I looked as best as I could. So that engine is going to have to go to the machine shop and get fluxed and maybe repaired, but probably scrapped. I don't know.
So she put a different engine in it.
I put a different engine in it, but it's not the same engine. It bolts in, but it doesn't run because the wiring and computer and all that stuff's not present. So we have some work to do. Okay, here we go. I've got some of this non-hardening plastilina putty, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mold an intake manifold. We're gonna and then we're gonna cast it out of some type of like JB weld or something. And when I say we, I mean I'm gonna, and he's gonna laugh at me and tell me it's not gonna work.
Have no fear.
Ooh, Dougster is here. Welcome to the stream. Potato to you, Dougster. Dougster, did you do your live stream on Monday? I swear I saw a community post that you were going to do a live at 8 p.m. on Monday, and it never came up for me. And there was no, like, history of it, so I don't know if I looked in the wrong place or what. Luis wants that motorcycle.
Buddy Carafano sent this one in, which is a car I've never seen before. It's an 83 Ford, trying to read it, Landau, from Brazil.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll make it.
From Brazil.
How's that?
That's an interesting car.
A Brazilian car. That looks like diplomats are going to get out of the car. Like that it would be a
diplomat's car.
Diplomat's car, yes. Where is the microfilm? Someone smuggling diamonds.
Power Toys, that's the last thing Power Toys says. So I have an 89 Firebird. I put a 350 in it. My first question is, what kind of 350? I assume it's a Chevy. It runs fine up to, but falls on its face terribly if you try to punch the throttle. It's a throttle body injection.
It might take quite a bit of diagnostics to track down the problem. I don't know, were they always that way? Or is there some component failing? like a throttle position sensor, or what is it? There's a map sensor. All those things have to work, or else the computer just guesses.
Can you zoom that out a little bit? Because I can't.
No. Oh, look at that. The motorcycle's back.
That's because it's back in the conversation here. This is the first was in 83, wrecked it, fixed it, painted it, blew it up, moved all the parts to the 91, and that's the 91. So, that's what can happen. Oh, it's an Oldsmobile 350. Okay.
Dougster says for a certain amount of time they are private.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh.
What is this?
Okay.
Looks just like a 71 Nova front bumper. I'm trying to remember what that is in reference to. Power Toys, I'm ready to put an Edelbrock on it. Yeah,
yeah, for Chevy, you can just get a manifold and put a carburetor on, and
there's no manifold available for yours, is there? That V6 you just put in.
no, my Ford, they never made one because it's just a V6, and there's a 4-liter and a 5-liter that could fit in that vehicle, so most people would do that, and so nobody ever made an aftermarket upgrade kind of thing for it. 83 was a 1000 cc and 91 was an 883. Didn't know that about Harleys. I have never owned one, but I admire.
My buddy Carafano sent this.
Oh, did you?
I want this, except I know it's like probably too far away.
Anybody knows where there's one of those?
With a window.
With a driver's
side window.
Door window. We need it.
Yeah, I need the window out of that.
Who knows what we may have to do to get one? We may have to drive up to where?
Chicago.
Chicago to get a door with a window in it, which is an expensive undertaking. It's a long drive. How many hours does it say that drive is?
It's 400 miles, whatever that.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's what my first thought when that window broke was, where am I going to get one of these?
Hey, Dougster, how far are you from there?
Yeah, we figured if we go up there, we'll at least stop and annoy John Cope for a couple of minutes. Take him out to dinner or something. But we probably just try not to annoy him too much. Bring him something. Get the hell out of his way. He's busy. Yeah, that's an 83. They made those from 78 to 83. Mine's a 78.
It looks like it has about the same
It's all
decals on it as yours.
Same stuff, yeah. Yeah, the decals are a little different. They're close. The grill's the same, headlight, all that stuff's the same. Man. Yeah.
Dougster is 2.5 hours from Cope's shop. That's a pretty long way.
See, this guy is on the west side of Chicago. I looked at it on the map, and it was like basically as far west as you can get, kind of on the edge of Chicago. And he's difficult to communicate with. You ask him something, he goes, I'll get back to you on the weekend, and then it'd be like 2 weekends, and he gets back to you, you know. It's like, geez, I really need to know when and where he's going to be so I can go up there and pick it up. I don't want to drive all the way to Chicago and then not be able to find the guy, I have some concerns about that. Yeah, it's a Mercury Zephyr Z7.
Yeah, that's what his car is.
Yeah, I need to get the need to get a window for that. That's got one, it looks like. You know who I got, and I'm trying to get in touch with is Junk Car Willie, but he's hard to reach. And maybe because all the junkyards he goes to, he might know where there's one sitting. Dean Stevens says resend test pot paint ad and a Ford Transit custom van advertisement. Oh,
okay. Good to see you, Dean. Dean, you get 2 points for calling out your advertisers. Thank you to Resend Test Pot Paint and Ford Transit Custom for supporting the stream and for our kilobits per seconds.
Dean Stevenson said, he said Z. Yeah, I know I said Z. What did somebody suggest I call that car? The Zed Sled? That's not a bad name.
Dougster says he's got a Domino's Pizza ad. All right, everybody. Domino's Pizza. If you have one, you know, maybe support them. I haven't had a Domino's Pizza in a really long time. Do we have a Domino's in Clarksville?
Well, I don't know. There's a little private pizza place on the way up the road here.
But they're not sponsoring us.
No, but I stopped and got a pizza there one time because I was hungry, and it's when I wasn't paying attention to
We're
my
not
diet
allowed to
real
eat a
well.
lot of pizza.
So I got it. It was the world's saltiest pizza.
Oh.
And I haven't been back, but they were nice people, but I think the top came off the salt shaker or something.
Tom Anderson got a Friday parts commercial. You get 2 points. Oh, Mexican Spec is here. Welcome to the stream.
Now I know everybody.
Tony must be done.
I know why everybody's coming in. Tony probably wrapped it up.
That's okay.
That's good. Yeah, Mexican Spec was the provider of that nice 83 Mustang that was on the thumbnail. It looked like a Capri on the front, but I explained that early on that that's a Mexican Mustang, and they used that front end. And it's a notchback, which is really cool because you don't see that front end on a notchback ever. And I thought that was a pretty nice car.
Lester
and I got to thank you. He sent me, because I screwed up the thumbnail. So last minute, I made a new thumbnail, and Mexican Spec provided the picture for me. It was a good picture.
Zed Sled. We're going to have to call it Zed Sled. We really might have to. That is pretty good. I believe Dallas Brown is here of the American Hot Rod Association. He says buy the whole car and use it for parts for your car. We've been looking at a parts car too, but it's a lot to drag a whole car home. It's expensive, but...
You know the problem with parts cars that are that age? It's okay. Okay, I'll buy it. What about the title? Oh, I lost it. And then when you find out they really didn't lose it, they never had a title, then it's like, well, whose name is it in? Nobody knows because it went from one yard to another. And I'm not buying another car without a title because then you're stuck with something that could be stolen, could have lien against it. You're just buying yourself trouble. So, you know, if I can find one that rolls, there's another thing. That thing doesn't roll. Yeah, I'd buy a whole car. I just wish it were close. Everything seems to be like in the next state or 2 or 3 states over. Man.
Lester Lasabre is here. Welcome to the stream. Andrew Button is here. Says greetings.
What were we had to say something to Lester. What the heck was it? Something I said we gotta bring it up. What the heck was it? Oh man. American Hot Rod Association. Oh, that's Dallas. A parts car without a title is just fine. Yeah, I'm afraid to drag the thing across from state to state on a trailer because then if I get stopped, there I am. And what if the thing is stolen, you know? Then I'm standing there going, bidee.
What state is it in?
It's in Arkansas.
Do they have a way that you can do a title search for legal ownership in that state?
I could do that, I suppose. Try to chase it down. It's just.
We'll look into it. Sawzall and dumpsters can make old parts cars disappear. Oh, yeah.
Actually, that one that's there, I'd like to get the whole car. Because it has more stuff on it. It actually it's a complete car other than the engine. And the interior is all ravaged, but I don't care about that. So, Sawzall and dumpsters can make old parts cars disappear. Yeah, I've had to do that before. Except I've done it with a cutting torch. There's something about the fire that's fun. But
generally, we'd rather avoid messing with goods that are not on the up and up.
Lester says Fairmont is now titled in Arizona. What is this?
We'll work on it. We're working on it.
Hey, Dallas, you'll help me with that? Man, how do I get a hold of you? Maybe I have your phone number somewhere.
Oh, Dallas isn't going to come up
No,
all
but
this
Dell, I
way.
mean, yeah, I mean, I make it worth his while because the way we'd have to move that thing around is so sketchy. That's the other thing. You're towing something like that, it ends up upside down on the side of the road or something, you know?
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Or maybe we'll let you know. We'll see what we can do. We're going to figure it out.
You just need more dumpsters. Yeah, I remember, guy. I was,
No,
jeez.
what you need is a junk car because to get the best prices for scrap steel is complete cars. So you load the trunk with all your old scrap and the back seat with all your old scrap. And then the car comes in at 4,000 pounds and you get the best what, four $7 per hundred. And that's how you scrap cars out. And
38
right
Racing.
along.
How you doing? I do not have the VIN for that car. I suppose I could ask him for it, but he knows I'm chasing it.
Well, you could
Fire.
ask. You could
Yeah.
ask if it, because he said he would give you a bill of sale for it or whatever. We'll figure it out.
Look at the
I
Dallas
don't think
says I
that's.
have a car trailer in my Suburban. I'll haul it for you. Man, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, but that's a lot of expense for Dallas to go all the way
Well,
out there and
like I
get it.
said, I'll make it worth his while, and then we're not in some sketchy van with a sketchy trailer. Or everything we have is like, I think it might make it. You know.
That's really, really generous of you to offer, Dallas.
Well,
And we'll see how we can do here. We're still looking to try and just get a door with a window
oh,
in
I
it.
I know how to get a hold of Dallas. I just figured out. I know how to get a hold of Dallas.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we can talk on the phone about it. But wow.
Lester the Saber says, can't wait to see how you got the body off the Spitfire. I did get the body off the Spitfire. That's an upcoming video. That will
Well,
be. When do you guys want it? I don't like to put them too
well,
close
wait a minute.
together.
Wait a minute. It's up there because the short this morning that I put up there was me pressure washing it.
But I didn't make the video of me chopping
Oh,
the
it's taking
body
it
off.
apart. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And there is video evidence of said body removal. And there's also video evidence of me hacking the firewall off of that said body and stripping it all down. So there's lots of stuff happening. I I arts and craft tinkered on that firewall because the firewall has the pedal assemblies, all the wiring, the wiper motors, the dash assembly, all the
The VIN
gauges, the
plate,
VIN
the
plate.
VIN plate.
So
You can do anything you want with a car as long as you have the
I had to
firewall.
strip it all down last night, and I'm crawling under it and flipping it over and sawing it up. And I was I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. I'm kicking the
Yeah,
table.
you knocked the leg
I
out from
was
under it.
so sore this morning when I woke up.
No, I see. It's okay.
You don't even know. I mean, like, I was so sore. I was crawled out of bed, like, oh my God, I really overdid it. But I've been trying to push this content forward. It's an exciting project, and I think people are going to like it. And so I've been pushing extra, extra, extra hard to keep it moving because once the frame is ready and he starts building the aluminum parts, that's going to be a leap for our channel and our content that I've never seen. So it's exciting to me to push because up until now we've just been like fixing cars and nobody cares about us fixing cars. We're not even fixing that interesting of cars. So most people we don't have a big audience because we're not doing anything that's I mean, you guys are great and we enjoy it. But
How
as far as like a mainstream audience, I don't know what we're doing that's all that. So this is exciting because this is something different. I've never seen anybody who has years of experience building airplanes making a custom aluminum car body. So I think it's something new and special.
that
Mexican Spec sent us a few cars, and we'll get
he
to
did.
talk about Mexican Spec
I
here as
started
the
down.
next hour moves forward.
I started downloading, but I'm there's a lot there. Power Toys sent this the Dax Zephyr. Somebody put a Mustang nose on the Zephyr, which looks pretty cool. I mean, that looks really good.
If you guys are not familiar with the American Hot Rod Association, they sponsor um, They are not the NHRA. They are the American Hot Rod Association. That would be Dallas Brown of the channel Mr. Rodder's Neighborhood. I think most of you have heard of that, but if you have not, you definitely want to check out the American Hot Rod Association and Mr. Rodder's Neighborhood. And which channel do they stream on Wednesday nights? Is it the AHRA channel?
Yeah, that's the AHRA channel.
And
Just
Dallas,
exactly how he is in here.
Dallas Brown is frequently on the channel on Wednesday nights with Professor P, and they talk about tech stuff.
Can you?
Deep in the weeds.
Oh, no, I'm not going to ask you to do it. You're busy. Mexican
What
Spec.
am I busy with?
Mexican Spec. Can you find the AHRA channel? American Hot Rod Association put up a link to it. So on Wednesday nights, which is tomorrow night, are you going to be there? They're there almost
Alloy McBeal. No, we're not going to do that.
almost every Wednesday night. AHRA, and which is Dallas and then Professor P. What's his name? Anyway, they get on there on that's Shane Polito. They get on there and they do a live for a couple hours, and they really get, if you like to really get into the weeds on engine building and things like that. It's a great live. I never miss it, and sometimes they don't for some reason, like big ass storm comes through and knocks their internet out. I really missed it that night, and I was sitting here in a big storm coming through here too, but our internet stayed on. But there we go.
Me, Andy Wood, and Professor P will be on there. That's fantastic. So check those guys
Andy
out.
Wood. Andy Wood too. Andy Wood's one of those guys that's also a. If you don't know who he is, he's from where, North Carolina, and he's a hot rodder extraordinaire. But it's AHRA that does the No Name Nationals. They I don't know, sponsor. That's
with
not
John
the name
Wilburn.
of it. With John
They
Wilburn.
sanction the
they
event.
sanction it. That's the word I'm looking for. And so it's quite an event. It's the most fun event I've been to. I've been to all these. What?
What's this car?
I explained what that was.
Shoot, I wasn't paying attention.
It's a Fairmont or a Zephyr, Futura, one of those, with a Mustang front end put on it.
Oh, the wagon would normally have a front end like your car.
Right.
But they put the other.
And who sent that?
It's a brand new Chrysler. No, it's not a new Chrysler.
What's this?
I don't know. Dougster, in regard to Alloy McBeal, I do love a punny name. So I'll give you credit for that. I'll give you a point for Alloy McBeal. But I don't think like I like Futura, but he doesn't like it. So we'll keep working on it. And the Buick 215 and the Spitfire. The Spitfire has a motor and a transmission that we did a Will It Run, got the motor running. It should be fine. We really have no intention of speed racing that car.
The project's not a fast car engine swap like that. It's build a body out of aluminum. Scratch built, just like I used to do airplanes. Just make it up, and the airplanes I was much more careful with designing and doing a lot of drawing and figuring out what airfoils and controls, all this kind of stuff. But this is the same kind of construction, but it's going to be an aluminum body with a 2024 T3. If you know your aluminum alloys, 2024 T3 aluminum sheet metal, and I have enough of it, I think, to build a car. But it's leftover stuff from building airplanes for years and years. Got rolls of that stuff. We may end up having to buy another roll of aluminum. I don't know, but we'll see. Buff, what's your email address so I can send you a car pic? Can you put that up, please?
Yeah, it's buffdelcampo@gmail.com. I'll type it in.
Yeah, it makes it easy for everybody.
Now, for future projects, we may do a little more hot roddy-ish of a build, but this one is just, do you English wheel it, is a question.
No, we're not going to English wheel.
No English wheel.
No, it's going to be...
I'd like to learn English wheel.
Yeah, 2024 T3 is some pretty hard stuff. I mean, it is. If you're going to English wheel aluminum, you better use something much softer. This is a strong aluminum that's used on aircraft wings and aircraft fuselages. It doesn't 3D bend very well. So this thing's going to be not quite as bad as a Cybertruck because it'll have some curves, but they'll be single direction. And if, like on the nose, if I want something that's going to be more than, it's going to be compound,
So you're
I'll
saying
make
it's going to be ugly.
if I want something, thanks. It's going to be ugly.
All right, it's going to be an ugly aluminum car. Wait till you see. I mean,
Man,
it
you're
works for the
smart.
Cybertruck. Look at all the orders they got in that ugly piece of garbage Cybertruck.
It's not going to be that slab-sided.
French
That's
wheel?
close in some ways.
Excuse my French?
It'll be curved somewhat.
I thought it
I
was
know
an
you're going to
English
tear
wheel.
it all down before I even built it.
No, I love the idea and I can't wait for us to get on it. That's why I've been working myself to death trying to get everything ready. Don't act like I don't like it. I've been out there. I was out there last night.
Well, and the Cybertruck is stainless. That's got sharp edges all over it. People cut themselves on it. I don't know how they were allowed to build that. If they hit a pedestrian, it'll cut the guy in half.
I love all the mockery of the Cybertruck where they make it look like a dumpster. I seen somebody who got a wrap that was like dumpster decals, so it just looked like a dumpster. The comparisons to Jumper just amuse me so much, you know.
It's gonna be riveted, Lester. It's gonna be riveted like an aircraft, and I probably won't polish it. It'll probably be painted with what I used to do on the airplanes was clean it off, sand it lightly, put a what do they call it? What's the primer that adheres? Why can't I pull up my dead brain?
Don't worry about it, Ray.
I know what it is. It's a primer that adheres to aluminum, and then it'll be I don't know what you're pointing at.
38 Racing asks, and I think it's a good question, can you anneal the sheet to work it?
Well, you get heat near it, and it goes, turns into a potato chip.
So not so much.
Not really.
And if you're going to, you better know your stuff. So he's going to show us the tricks he knows. I'm looking forward to it because I don't know nothing.
You can buy it no condition, but if I were going to do that and use an English wheel and everything, I wouldn't buy 2024. I'd buy something else, like, I don't know, one of the alloys that's...
Dougster says self-etching primer. Is that
right? Self-etching. Who came up with that,
Gets
Dougster? 2 points. Self-etching primer. I shoot him a self-etching primer, and then with whatever color that I want to paint it with. And then if it doesn't turn out good, it'll probably get pushed outside in the rain. I don't know.
Junkyard D says it sounds like that Ian guy. He's a car builder and designer. It sounds like one of his projects.
Oh, I wish I were that talented. My talent seems to be that's something I developed over 30 years, designing airplanes and going out and flying them. And first,
I just 3D printed this with my fingers.
Okay. I know I'm getting too far into the weeds.
I'm sorry, no, I want to talk about it. I was just talking about my clay because I realized I had built something. Look, it's an intake port. Isn't that cool? All right, I better stop. You better take care of things. Dallas.
Hang on, Dallas sent this in.
That is little.
I'm trying to zoom in on it.
What is that?
Well, I remember those.
Is it an 83?
It could be.
Oh, good night, Luis.
Oh, Luis is taking off. Okay, thanks for stopping by and have a good night.
Hippie Long is here.
Hippie Long's here.
Welcome to the stream, Hippie. I ate some more of the
I think you finished them.
No, there's got to be more.
There's got to be more.
There needs to be more.
I grabbed 2 bags out of there last night.
You took 2 bags.
And there were 2 bags left. And now you said you ate some, so I'm thinking you ate the last 2 bags.
Nah, there's still a couple left. They're nice to have around, handy. When you get to like really focused on something, and then you forget to eat.
Okay, it's a '78 Buick Century.
It's an Omega. No.
Read what Dallas. It's Dallas's picture.
Okay.
It's a '78 Buick Century. I remember those when they came out because I remember that weird squared off fastback thing.
Where'd you get that, Dallas?
Is that yours? Do you have that? Don't know.
Welcome to Stream 38 Racing. I thought you were here earlier. He's just
Power
greeting
Toys, what's the
people.
best made vehicle today in your opinions?
Oh no.
Wheelbarrow?
I can't afford a new vehicle.
Go to Home Depot and get a wheelbarrow.
New vehicles
Simple.
start at what?
I like simple cars.
$40,000 for a new vehicle? Who has that kind of money? If I had $40,000, the last thing I'd want to do is spend it on a brand new vehicle. But that's my lifestyle. I don't really go anywhere.
Dallas
I work on vehicles. I don't drive them very much.
Dallas says they were so ugly. That's what I thought when I first saw them, that thing was ugly. And then I kind of got used to it. Because I remember when they came out, and it was a guy that used to sell brake parts. And I was working in a brake shop. And he showed up with one of those. He had some kind of they used to have these clinics. They called them a clinic. Somebody would come around, basically a salesman that knew their shit, They'd come around, they'd set up in a shop, and you'd have people from a bunch of shops come over. And they'd explain a lot of new stuff. And the guy showed up in one of those. And he was talking about, it's when they were getting rid of the asbestos in the brake shoes. And he was talking about what the new brake shoes are going to be made out of and the new brake pads and all that. I remember the guy was driving one of those, and it was the first one I saw. It's kind of interesting. Andrew Button says, I sent you a picture of my Coupe de Ville. Let me see. I have to look. So, Dallas, did you buy that? Is that yours? Oh, wow. Okay, I got to bring this one up. This is Andrew Button. Sent a picture of his Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Here we go. It's a 55 Coupe de Ville. Oh, you did not buy it. Oh, okay. Because it's a nice looking car. Even if it's not my favorite body style, it's certainly not the worst body style I've ever seen. And it's, you could make that thing fast. Yeah, Mexican Spec says it's unattractive and slow. Yeah, but can you imagine that with a good small block in it or something? The thing would probably fly. Surprise a bunch of people. I like cars that surprise people. Andrew Button, all original. I do own it. We have some ads rolling in, so I'm gonna take it easy. Dallas says I need a good driver and that I can work on. Doug says Perry Mason drove a caddy like that.
Where'd my coffee cup go?
I don't know. Jenny Snyder. I don't know. You can't call a cup. She's out there. Here, cup. I can't find my cup. Here, cup. You can't call your cup and have it show up. Lester says that photo looks like it was taken in 1955. It sure does, doesn't it?
You can't take anything but a blurry photo of a car that age.
The resolution's pretty good for 55. Power Toy says, I want a nice AMC Pacer. The only thing, I think the Pacer is actually kind of an interesting car. The only thing I don't like about it for a performance car is there's so much glass up above and that stuff's heavy. And you go in a corner, you can feel that. But I guess you can overcome that, I never thought about chopping the top on a Pacer. That'd be a lot of work. Pacer is kind of an interesting car. The door on the driver's side shorter than the one on the passenger side that'll open up over the sidewalk is a big, long door. And the one on the driver's side is not so long, so when you open it in the traffic, you don't get clobbered as easily, which is kind of a original thing. 38 Racing just got a mood ad. Interesting. Mood. Okay, 2 points.
Give him 2 points.
I gave him 2 points. Kim's yelling from the other room. Give him 2 points. Cutter down garage. My aluminum step van weighs 3,240. Small block Chevy. Let's see. Out of a 454 motorhome engine on cherry picker. Oh, so it had a 454 in it? It says small block, and then it says 454. I'm kind of mixed up about what that sentence is. Maybe I'm not reading it right. The aluminum step van weighs 3,240. Small block Chevy out of 454 motorhome engine. Check that. Mexican spec. I drove a 56 CDV. Oh, Cadillac Ville to the Rose Bowl swap meet. It had 50 degrees of play in the steering wheel. Aren't old cars fun sometimes? You just kind of, it's like a ship. You just kind of guide it down the road. Wait, turn and wait. No seat belts. Something gets in your way. You just put your feet up on the dash and wait for the impact. Let's see here. Caddy weighs about 5,000 pounds. Yeah, I believe that, at least. That looks heavier than 5,000, but it probably is. Mexican spec, I had a 56 sedan DeVille. It was a monster.
Oh, look at that car.
Yeah, that's at 55 Cadillac that looked like it was taken. The picture looks like it was taken in 55.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
Okay, so you're putting a 454 in it now. Okay, in that van. Steering wheel is like a buzz. Yeah, it had a point in the middle. There's a safety item. A point right in the middle of the steering wheel so that instead of an airbag or a pad.
That's when they died like real men.
See here, Dougster says aluminum car name suggesting stray billet. Make it like it's machined out of one piece of billet.
Dougster's trying. We'll come up with a name. I do like the Zed sled. We're gonna. Yeah. Is it going to be official at some point?
I don't know. Maybe at some point.
People like it when you name your projects. I don't know. I never named cars like that too much.
Oh, Mexican spec says Jason, who took possession of the Fairmont that Lester LeSabre's getting. Lester LeSabre. What he's getting is it's now a U.S. tax-paying citizen.
Oh, lovely.
Well, cool. Well, that means he can register it in Ohio.
Well, the first thing you do in America is pay some taxes.
Yeah, I get to pay some taxes.
Don't worry, it's not the last time.
I think everywhere you live, there is some kind of tax system. You know,
the sales tax here is way high. Whoa, you want to talk about taxes? What is the sales tax here?
It's about
like 9%.
8.5%, I think.
Oh my God.
Well, California's like that, and
it's on food too.
Yeah,
there's no exceptions.
What is it in Pennsylvania?
I don't know. Depends on where you are. It's like 7% now, I think, in Pittsburgh.
Aluminum car, yeah, like aluminum Capone, Al Capone. That's pretty good. I write that down. I gotta remember that. Mexican spec, it costs about $30 to get the title and plate in Arizona. I remember years ago when I bought the Corvette.
That's not too bad.
The Corvette was not registered in California, but it was in California, so it had all, in California, if you don't register it, you don't go in and pay the current registration. You go in and pay all the back registration, all the fines, and all the nonsense, and it ends up costing you a fortune. Unless you get a thing called a non-op slip, and people don't forget to get that, so then you got to pay all the fines. So I bought that car. I got a pretty good deal on it because it had all that fines stacked up on it. Put it on a trailer, towed it to Arizona, went in there and did all the paperwork and everything. And the woman's sitting there, and she says, that'll be $5. I hand her a $5 bill, and she handed me a license plate. And I said, is that it? And she goes, yep. I go, that's a deal. I walked out of there, screwed it on the car, and drove it. I was living in a hotel. I drove it back to the hotel with license plates on it. In California, that would have been, I can't even imagine what it would have cost to get that straightened out in California. Dean Stevenson, 7% only on pencils in Pennsylvania. Wrong kind of pencil, I think.
16% on everything, says Mexican Spec, including your rent. That's crazy. Is there income taxes there too? Man, taxes.
Paying taxes on swap meet purchases is optional. It depends on where you are. Like going into
You
Iowa,
didn't see anything.
I know people going into Iowa from another state will get stopped and have problems with that. And I know that. A friend of mine that's had this happen, and a whole bunch of people pulled over. They were just coming out of a swap meet and crossing the line into Iowa. There was a woman there that was in tears because she'd been selling some plastic combs and brushes, and she had some stuff in her van, and they were ripping her off, and she didn't know how to deal with them. It was a sad story. American Hot Rod Association. I used to buy non-op cars in California and take it to Yuma with a non-resident military slip and score cars for cheap. Yep. See, that's where I lived. I was in Yuma. I had this house, but I was working in Yuma. You know, it's a company that sent me all over the place, but I spent lots and lots of time in Yuma. So that's where I had the Corvette, and at the time it was, I don't remember what year that was. It was $5. I was stunned. $5 to register a car. It's more than that now, but it's not like California. I like buying cars in California though, because Southern California, usually the cars are in pretty good shape because there's not a rust problem unless they've been driven on the beach. And then, so they got that going for them. And then you don't need a notary. So if you buy a car like on a Sunday, the guy just signs you just make sure he's who he says he is, signs the title and hands it to you. So you don't have a bunch of notary nonsense to go through. So I always kind of like buying stuff in California. Oh, and the other thing is, a lot of times the cars in California have all the back fees and taxes and craps, fines and all that stuff stacked up on them. So I don't mind that because I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to register anything in California. Power toys. I don't understand how some states don't have income tax. Oh, we don't have income tax here.
They get you coming or going or both if they can.
Our
It's one of the few things they don't.
Our sales tax is a little bit higher.
Yes.
But it's not higher in California.
And property taxes.
Property taxes are not that high.
They're reasonable here compared to some places.
But then, look where Tennessee is. Everybody that drives through Tennessee, like north, south, east, and west, because it's big crossroads. Everybody coming through here pays some sales tax. And then I think the roads here are good. We have enough police. We have enough fire.
It's easier to maintain the roads here because of the weather.
I think the politicians are maybe not as much on the take as some states. I don't know, because our stuff is in pretty good shape. Well, and then we pay a school tax that we pay with our license plate.
There's plenty.
So,
oh man, we need to stop talking about taxes.
So I think the tax situation
could be worse.
It's pretty good. Okay, well there's no income tax here. There's no income tax where in Nevada. There's no income tax in Florida. Texas? Does Texas have an income tax? I don't think so. So it's just an income tax is a terrible thing anyway, because that's a penalty for productivity. My God, I go out and work real hard and they penalize me for it. So I kind of like that here. Mexican Spec says you own a car in your name, you can turn in the plates to Nevada without having to change the title. What? If you own a car in your name?
You can own a car and not plate it, but continue to hold title. There's a lot of places where it's like that.
I didn't know that.
The only reason you have to have a plate here is if you're going to insure and drive a car. If it's just going to sit, it doesn't have to have it.
Mexican Spec says property tax makes up for it generally. But here the property tax isn't that high. They raised ours recently because property's worth more. But, compared to every other state I've been in, our property tax is very low.
There's a lot less infrastructure here. It's a little more laid back in some aspects as far as like infrastructure.
Yeah, usually if there's an income tax, they make it up in sale. Our sales tax is higher here. Power toys, property tax is the biggest scam of them all.
No, no, it's
I think
not the biggest.
income tax is pretty bad too. I don't want to get into talking about different tax
I'm
systems.
getting exhausted
but
already thinking
I'll
about
tell you, I'll tell you
taxes.
how it is here, but I'm not going to discuss why or anything.
If anybody has some incredibly useful tips on how to effectively pay your taxes in the leastest amounts, we'd love to hear them. But otherwise, I want to move on from
What's this
the
power
cost of
toys?
taxation.
Maybe it comes to don't live far north. Well, I mean, which Washington and Oregon, one of them doesn't have an income tax. I don't remember which one that one is. One of them does and the other one doesn't. But I can never remember which it
There's
is.
good and bads. There's different
It's like I said,
levels of services and
way,
different kinds of people in different areas, and you have to weigh.
way earlier in this live, I said somebody was bad mouthing one of the states, and I said every state has its good and its bad, and every state I've lived in has its good and its bad, and even lived in California, it has its good. I mean, it's a really nice place,
You know what they do
but
really
it's
well?
costly. It's costly.
They really do well here
What?
is our trash collection.
Oh, I was in. I'll tell you how I was in Ohio, and I paid $65 a month for trash collection.
Which a lot of people will probably be able to
And-
relate to. Like it costs
And I
money.
had one can. I wasn't allowed to have any more than one can out there picked up once a week. $65 a month. I came here, it's $5 a month, and we have to take it down to
They don't pick it up.
We take
We
it down
have to take it up to the collection center and dump it in their dumpster.
but they have a dumpster, and then they have aluminum and paper and
Right.
plastic
They have
and
all
all
the
these
different
things.
recycled sorting things,
So
and you
go-
have to self-sort.
and so you dump this stuff down. But it's $5 a month. It's like, man,
And you can go as often as you need to. They're open, what, 3 days a week or 5 days a week?
they're open 5 days a
They're
week.
open 5 days a week. You got to go kind of during daylight hours, but they're open on the weekend. They're even open on Sunday.
Well, I was in there. I went in to pay the bill, and I paid it instead of paying it monthly, $5 a month. I paid the annual, which is the same amount of money. You just pay it once. I was in there. There's a guy in front of me bitching and complaining about how expensive it was, and I'm like, and he walked out, and the woman says, "I said, man, I can't believe somebody complaining about this." And she said to me, she goes, "No, I'm from Ohio, and it was much more." I said, "I lived in Ohio. I know the story."
So there's
So-
some things they do really well
So
here.
yeah, I mean,
Is they offload having a big collection department. You collect your own and take it to them, and then it's very affordable. So Andrew
Butt-
says we have a
Andrew Butt-
dumpster called Denver. Man,
Andrew says, "Don't they make you pay full service gas in Oregon?" Not anymore. Last time I was there, well, I was there, came back here, and they ended it. I didn't know that. Went there, and when I was there the first time, this woman was really busy. I wanted to put my own gas in. No, no, you're not allowed. We have special training, so we're not going to cause a fire and all this nonsense. So I had to let her put the gas in. Well, it was a few weeks later. I went back to Oregon driving, and where's that woman? Sitting in a booth like this, because they ended that, and everybody's putting their own gas in. So I guess it wasn't so dangerous.
Dougster Wolverine Garage says, Buff, could you maybe upgrade the Triumph to the G6 engine? I know where one is, the inline six.
It's not an engine. It's not an engine project.
It's not an engine build project.
It runs. It'll move under its own power.
It runs just fine.
That's
Like
the important part.
It seems like a solid base of an engine. And that's really all we need is something that we can pull it on a trailer. I don't see us driving this little bitty aluminum bodied car. It's not going to be safe for highway travel. So I don't see us needing a lot. A 6-cylinder might be a really cool engine.
Imagine
So
a car.
maybe, but it's not top of our list right now. It's a lot of work getting it together just to build the aluminum car on top of it.
Imagine a car the size of a Spitfire. But worse yet, it's aluminum sheet metal. And you're driving on the highway with all these giant jacked up trucks that everybody
We're in
tailgates.
Tennessee.
Everybody tailgates. They crash and think nothing of it because
They don't care.
And
I have
I'm-
airbags.
I'm a little bit. Yeah, last guy hit me. I was like, "Who cares? That's what insurance is for." I was in Arizona. A guy rear-ended me. He goes, He goes, don't get mad. That's what insurance is for. What, you can drive like an idiot and run
Yeah,
into
so
me?
you can drive unsafely.
He goes, well, I'm delivering a pizza. Well, good for you. You know?
So, anyways, our ambition is not to make the car go fast. It is a styling and art sort of project, arts and crafts, as it were. But that's not to say we would never want to see that. Like that inline six sounds really cool to me, but I'm looking at the amount of work it's going to be to get it together where it's a nice rolling chassis to build on top of, and we're already in deep. And I got to keep it moving because people on YouTube are not patient. They will click away if you're not working fast enough.
They had the button says, tell the gas guy where my filler neck was on the Caddy, and they wouldn't find it. Left rear tail light.
Oh.
You lift it up and there's a cap there. How do I know? I was putting gas in those when I was a teenager.
Hippie Long sent a video.
Oh, okay. I'll look for that.
I think we can play a video. We just have to be
Oh,
careful
Hippie
of
Long
the
got my
sound.
64 GT to start and idle today. Start from outside. And Dallas says, my trash is free. Wow, yours is free? Mine's $5. No wonder the guy was complaining. I don't know. They can charge me $5 to take my trash. Yeah, I'm good with that. It's like that's like some token amount. It's fine. After $65 a month, which was 19 years ago. In 19 years ago money, I was paying $65 a month.
This is a lesson in why you have
in
to
Ohio.
keep track of your local government and make sure they're just not tacking on taxes so they can rob you of more money. Down south, they will have no part of that.
Okay, let's see here.
They will run you out of town before
What
they'll
is
let
this?
you raise taxes.
What is this? What is this? Oh, it's downloading. The video's downloading. I don't know how big that file is.
Oh, it's not a link.
Yeah, I'm downloading
The
it.
GT6 inline six is 112 CI, 98 horsepower. That does sound like a nice upgrade because the one that's in it says it's 79 cubic inches.
All it has to do is move a body that's probably going to weigh 150 pounds.
But I mean, if you got one laying around that you want to donate, that sounds cool, and I might build a frame just for it.
You and I carried the front end out and then the body. We couldn't even carry it out. We had to drag it out because it's so heavy. We had to drag it out with
We're
the machine.
old people. It's hard working on big things.
When we finish that aluminum body, it probably won't be detachable, but if we picked it up, I bet we could pick it up. I bet I could pick it up by myself.
It'll be like an airplane body.
Yeah.
But not shaped like an airplane because that'd be silly.
No, but like airplanes are.
I don't want no JJ the jet plane looking thing. Mexican Spec says 2 hours, and you haven't shown any of his pictures yet.
Oh, geez.
His feelings are hurt.
I'll get to it. Okay, this
Mexican Spec.
Well, yeah, hey,
Did you get pictures of your cars on any of the other streams that you moderated today?
Mexican Spec. Okay, this is, oh, no signal. What is this? This is a video.
I don't know if it's playing sound for them.
I don't know. It's not a talkie. This is from Hippie Long. This is his 64 Dart.
Oh, the game capture audio. Play it. I think I can turn the audio on.
Okay, it should be going.
Is there audio on yours? Is the audio down here? I don't know if it's that important.
Yeah, it's off. I'm sorry. I can't make it work.
Audio is over here. Sorry, everyone. Technical. No. There you go. Click on that. See what it's got. No. What about on here?
Wait a minute. What is wrong?
It's going.
Yeah, but it doesn't. There's no talkie.
I check here and see if there's audio.
That's just a file.
No. Here. Sorry, guys. I'll get this here in a second. Where is it? How do I get to there?
What are you looking for? Oh. Oh, we might be able to hear it that way. But we got to turn that off. Okay, I know what to do. Try it.
Hold on. I think I know what I need to do here.
So Mexican Spec, what I was starting to say is you got the front seat. You got the That's confusing.
Oh, it's giving me a
So
headache
Mexican
already.
spec, what I was starting to say is you got the front seat.
You've got the audio on your.
No, I don't. You turned it on.
Yeah, but where is? Oh my gosh, we got to stop this.
I
We
know.
can't do it.
We can't get the sound. Get rid of that. There.
I know what's wrong, but I'm not.
Okay, so Mexican spec, you got the
That is a little Carter BBD. Look,
you
he's got an adapter plate to make it fit.
you got the thumbnail. Okay, I'm sorry. We had all this technical stuff.
38 Racing says, I'm glad my state doesn't charge for in-op cars. And they shouldn't. The Blue 59 we put together last year was last tagged in 1983.
Last year, I let the Jeep expire, and it went a couple of weeks. So I went in to pay, and I thought, okay, they're gonna. I'm used to states that fine you for that, and you got to pay last year's and everything. And
Most states don't.
And she said, "Did you drive it during that 2 weeks?" I said, "No." And she goes, "You got to sign this." So I signed it. Said I didn't drive it during those 2 weeks. Then I paid the current, walked out with a tag. It's like,
see, but if
yep.
you'd have gotten caught by the police driving and they'd have seen that you were expired,
But
if
I
you
wasn't.
had been
I didn't
driving.
drive it. I didn't drive it.
But
yeah.
that's what I'm saying is if you had gotten caught by the police and the thing, and then you signed that affidavit, it would have been illegal. So
Oh yeah, then you get in trouble.
right. So basically, they're saying like you don't get no free out. If you did the wrong, you can't just let it expire and
Oh my
then
god, I
once
want
you
to.
get
I want to
caught.
show these. I just opened one of Mexican specs. He sent a car, but there's like shit about 80 pictures of it. I'm gonna download some of them. I'm not gonna show
Hippie
all of
Long
them.
says I would like to see prices on Mexican spec pics. I don't know if it's a good sales tactic to put up prices all the time. That's his
Well,
choice.
he has prices in
He
his
does list prices for some stuff.
where he lists the cars in his Instagram. You can go see what they all say and what they all are, and it's
Hippie Long says I will run the Carter BBD till I find an AFB. Okay, that's reasonable. I understand. And sometimes I'll run what I brung until I find something at a good price, like a discount. Because if you get in a hurry, you're gonna pay premiums. I don't like that.
here's a
'Cause I'm
nice
cheap.
looking Mexican spec car.
Buddy Carfano asks if the engine compartment should be body color or black. What do you think?
On what car?
On the one that we
his-
had the video of.
No, on a Chrysler product should be body color, unless you're UTG and then he paints them white because of the light in there. It's easier to work on, but
And if it's a hot rod, it can be whatever the heck I want.
to me,
'Cause
a
it's
Chrysler
mine.
product should be body color in there.
Yeah, it depends if are you doing a restoration? Are you doing like a numbers matching kind of thing? Or are you just hot rodding it? If you're hot rodding it, do what you want.
Oh, this one's a 3.8. Ah,
Oh, with a 4-speed manual.
like Mexico. So many of the cars in Mexico are manual transmissions.
Pretty wild.
So you get Kim, we've got that wedge right in the middle of the window there. You see that?
Yeah, I
You know
think
what
I
that
can
is.
fix
You
it.
know what
yeah,
that
yeah,
is.
yeah. That's a green screen remnant.
Yeah, that's
Let
a
me see if
green
I can
screen
get-
goof up. Yeah. There, it's gone. It's good. It's good.
Look at that.
I didn't
I'm all
want
over
it. I didn't want to look like part of his
People
back
on their
window.
phones couldn't see it, but
Well, except it looks like something screwed up on a window.
Old
but it
McDonald
isn't.
has a car. Welcome to the stream. Says he got a True Earth detergent ad. Thank you, True Earth, for sponsoring our stream. And an O'Reilly.
One of your favorite places, O'Reilly's.
It's not my favorite place.
I said
but
one of your favorite
we
places.
have a good O'Reilly's here in town that
We
I
have
like.
a great O'Reilly's, and it's because the people they have a couple of them that are really knowledgeable. And in the new parts stores, that's not always the case.
Auto parts. So thank you. You get 2 points for calling out the advertisers and Fender louvers. Wait, where's
Does
the
that
Fender
have a chrome inlet on the in front of the windshield? Or maybe they just
No.
painted it white or something.
Yours is plastic and it was.
Yeah, I'm thinking, how would they chrome that?
No, I don't
Okay.
think it's plastic chrome. Might be. It's got a lot of. Nice. Man, for a car that old, that car just looks really nice still.
Fox Body, Andrew says, Fox Body's certainly better with a manual transmission for sure.
What's
Mine's got
the
an automatic. Mine's got a C4, but that's fine. You make
Mexican
C4s
spec?
work.
What's the miles on that car? Is it original or has it been all
Oh, you
restored
know
to
what?
look
There
like
it
that?
is. It's 86,000 kilometers, which is about what,
S-
50,000 miles?
huh, wow. I mean, it looks like, even just look at the condition of the dash. It looks like that's a super low mileage car.
There's the speedometer I want. I know they're hard to get
Somebody
out of
did
there.
some trim painting on this one to make it different. I mean, I don't always mind that. Mexican spec likes it to be original, so he notices when things are a little bit doctored.
Look how nice the interior is on that.
That's a snazzy car. Guys, if you don't already know, I'm going to do the plug for our friend Mexican Spec. He helps us by moderating. He sends us pictures. But if you find Mexican Spec on Instagram, which he is welcome to send you a link right now as he is in chat, um, you can see the cars that he is offering to help you acquire. Many of them are Mexican spec cars in Mexico that can be moved to anywhere in the world uh, at your desire. Um, and he can bird dog for you. You can go looking for something specific or you can just watch until something that meets your heart desire comes up. Or if you just like looking at crazy old classic cars, Mexico, because of the some of the climate in Mexico where it is warm and dry, there's some unique cars that you might not see, if you
It
live in
might be rusted
Pittsburgh.
away here, yeah.
Or if you wanted to start a project and do something really custom and you just wanted to start with a body that was like pristine with no rust. Or if you wanted a car that had been lovingly and labor intensively restored. The labor costs in Mexico are very affordable, so you could have a lot of work done there, paint work, chrome work there, and then have it shipped to you at whatever location you are. And you might be able to get a screaming deal on the classic car of your heart's desire. You know, maybe you had a relative, maybe a parent, who speaks highly of a classic car that they own that they just wish they could drive again. And Mexican Spec, maybe he can help you find it. You could gift it to him because you just hit the lottery, you won $1 million, and you can do whatever you want. For whatever reason, you are capable of bringing another car into your fleet, and you want to do that. And Lester LeSabre, I think, just got a car. He hasn't got it yet, but it's in the process of coming through, and we can't wait to see some more details about that. Mexican Spec even documented some of the trip, and we've talked with him in the past. It's an interesting thing that we talk about just about every week, is the thing that Mexican Spec is doing, and we appreciate him. He has been a big supporter of our channel since the very beginning, and we like that. That's why we talk nicely about him. And because he's had fair and honest dealings above the board with people. Everything that we've heard about Mexican Specs dealings have been really square, and that's hard to find in the world today. He goes out of his way to make people happy, and customer service is worth its weight in gold. So,
See, how many Fairmonts in the U.S. still have their original wheel covers? Mine do. Mine have the cheap wheel covers. My
but they
my
are, right?
Futura had the good wheel covers, and this one has the cheap, just stamp thing. But that's okay. I'll replace the wheels at some point anyway, because mine's going to be kind of a hot rod at some point.
Andrew Button asks, are VW vans still affordable down there? The round ones, not the Van Agen ones. Okay,
The
so
Vanagon.
they are available, and there are, in obviously at that age, each one is going to have its own individual sort of character because they're so old. Things have happened over the years. So affordable is a relative term. I've seen people drag car. You've seen it on YouTube. Somebody gets a free car or a couple $100. They drag it out of the weeds, and then they spend 1,000,000 hours in 5 years dumping money into it for a free car. It's like, well, I don't know. What's affordable? It's different to everyone. So all you can do is look. It doesn't cost anything to look. Click on Instagram, see if there's something there. If you're really curious and you think you can want to do something like that, ask Mexican Spec, and he will tell you what it would cost. You can maybe even try and haggle. I don't know. Make sure you're getting what you want. Buyer beware. I cannot endorse any specific vehicle deal, right? Especially something I've never seen. So don't, it's not like I can, you know, we're all going to do our best, but a 50-year-old car is a 50-year-old car. So don't.
Andrew Button says VW went to water cooled 1980 with a different and bad body style, but what did I say?
Bad body style?
Okay, but I know the bus was carried on in Mexico. Here's the deal with the bus in Mexico. They started putting liquid cooled engines in the old style bus, but there's a radiator up front. And Mexican Spec, he's had them on his site before. I don't know if he has any now, but it's the old style bus with a liquid cooled engine, which I think is really cool.
So there's lots of different choices.
But it's got, it's something we never saw in the U.S., and it's got a radiator up front.
83 Rambler American. Notice the 1 year only front end style. Renault owned the company this year and phased these out.
Okay, let's see if I can find that front end. Yeah, here they called this, they didn't call it a Rambler American here, but that's what they called it there. There it is.
Dean Stevenson says, also, he's got the best stuff. He curates his collection of stuff, you know? And then he went to buy, from my understanding, is he went to Mexico City to buy a car that he believed that he had not seen in person. He believed it to be a good buy, and he was facilitating that. And he went and looked at it, and he was like, no, you don't want to buy this car.
This isn't the car you want.
It's junk.
And he went out and chased down. So he
went and sought out other options. So, I mean, it's really, I mean, unless you go to Mexico, and I wouldn't feel comfortable going to Mexico myself and trying to work out a deal like that. I don't speak Spanish. That might be an issue for me, and I don't know the government and the laws and the money system there, and I would struggle. So Mexican Spec is like this what's it called when someone is a resource that you can contact and work on things. Okay. The front end is angled. They spent money on this front end for almost no cars. Oh, you know what? I had an 80 Dodge Aspen they did that with. It was a 1 year old.
Oh, I remember the last year the Aspen and the Volare were different, and I really didn't like them. I liked my favorite of all those was the first year. What was that, 76? I really liked the looks of the 76 Volare, but no. Never had one that I could, yeah, he's a broker, that's right.
Yeah, but broker sounds very impersonal. And I feel like if you were working with Mexican Spec, he would be more...
Yeah, look at that. Lester Saber says it took a week for Mexican Spec and Mrs. Mexican Spec to find the Fairmont. Yeah, I remember him chasing all over the place till he found a good one. And then he found it. Oh, carryalls. I think he sent pictures of carryall. Let me see if I can get one of those up here. Oh,
Mexican Spec says a lot of Aspens were sold that year, but they only sold 149 of the 1983 Gremlins. Yeah, well then that is a lot of expense for a 1 year grill if they only sold 149 of them. You'll probably always do great on a Fox F or M car, VAM AMC, and of course the bugs got the bugs removed.
Oh, VAM or VOM. How do you pronounce that? How do you, I ask him and then I expect to hear his voice. VOM, I think, because in Mexico there's no A. Or maybe they say VAM, I don't know. Or maybe the whole long thing is big, long chain of words that means the whatever it is, the cars from AMC.
Tim asks, and Tim, I don't think there's anything inappropriate or it doesn't have to be a political question. It's a practical question. It's have the tariffs affected you bringing cars across the border? I'm pretty sure at the border he has to pay the tariffs. So that is something that you have to be aware of that comes into the cost
I don't know
No,
what all the rules are on tariffs.
but Mexican Spec
He
does. That's
probably
part of
he
his
probably
job.
does by now.
So he can talk to a potential buyer about that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he does, and he can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, who was it said they like the carryalls?
Hippie Long mentioned about the carryalls, and that is a
Mexican
kind of a
spec.
unique
Look
Mexican
at that.
phenomenon.
Look at the rain gutter, how they work that in.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, because that's done in Mexico.
So it's like a van, but it has a truck front
Well,
end.
it's like a Chevy Suburban, only
But that's a
Dodge didn't make a
Dodge.
Suburban. Yeah,
So where did that body come from?
they made it. They manufactured it. I think they're conversions, aren't they?
Conversions.
I think they take a pickup and they convert it.
Okay.
I think. He'll tell me if I'm wrong. There you go. That's the engine. The old slant. I know how it was when I was selling airplanes into Canada. Of course, that was Canada. The airplane had hit the Canadian border and they had to pay 25%. Like, gulp.
It's going.
And that was for decades. It was like that. So, I remember I was in Ohio selling airplanes. They had all these customers coming in. Canada was real close. And all these pilots come in and they really wanted our airplanes. And then they'd see that 25% hitting the Canadian border and it'd just kill the sales. And that was the purpose of it. They wanted people to buy Canadian airplanes, not American airplanes.
That slant six will power it or clean up nice, but you know the nice thing about a vehicle with a slant six, especially
Whoa.
a big vehicle with a slant six,
I
is
don't know.
there's plenty of room between the firewall and the radiator for pretty much any power plant you want, like any V8 power. So you could repower it with a V8, um,
Of
and
course,
have
the
a
way
nice
they
hot rod.
are, they're easy to work on.
Really
You know,
easy to work on. Absolutely. That's the
power
great
toys.
thing about refurbishing a classic car is that they are more interesting to work on
Power
than.
toys. Got to head off. Thanks for the shout out, guys. You've helped me out a lot. Well, you're welcome here anytime, and have a good
Yeah,
night.
thanks for being here. Great job with that project. Love to see it.
Um, Andrew Button says the only carryalls we had here, I think with internet, probably were internationals. Where's here? Because the carryalls, I always thought of a Chevy Suburban as kind of a carryall.
Sort
Of
of,
course, the
yeah.
carryall was not. I guess that was actually a name that. What did they call the international? That wasn't called a carryall either. That was called a
Travel.
travelall. You're right.
I think so. Because Puddin' Fat Shop has a really cool travel.
Travelall, yeah.
Olive says one of those with the three doors up front. I could make a mini camper inside for multi purposes. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun. Um, Mexican Spec says they didn't make many Dodges because Ford offered a V8 engine. Okay, so a lot of people in a large vehicle like that, a V8 engine is, to me, would be favorable. Although
Slant six will take you down the highway just fine.
yeah, but if you load or you want to tow or if you just like to
Yeah, if you want to tow, you probably
just want a
might.
hot rod, a slant six is a little bit on the weak side for a vehicle that big. Um, All Original still has the stickers. He said he sent a Ford carryall as well.
Okay, I'll look.
If you want to
I
pivot.
just grabbed the first one I saw.
The distributor in a slant six in a big vehicle is not fun. It's like diving. You just stand on your head, Andrew.
What's
It's
this?
easy.
The
It's
distributor
easy.
is easy to compare to the dart with this
You
engine.
get like a
Yeah,
bungee cord and hang it to the hood, and you can just jump down in there and twist. And
I used to
you're good.
bitch and complain about the distributor on where it was on a slant six. This is like 40 years ago, and I always remembered that. And then lately, in the last couple of years, Kim said slant. I've had a slant. It became something here, and it's like, man, this is a lot easier. What I remember, because over the last 40 years, cars became so complicated and so packed full of shit that now that distributor looks like it's no big deal. So,
Yeah, in
you know,
comparison,
yeah.
This is the most complicated and difficult car you've ever worked on so far. Because next year's model's all electric. Mexican Spec says this truck has a transmission as a 4-speed, so the slant 6 moves it okay. Yeah, they gear them appropriate for the weight of the vehicle. So the slant 6 will absolutely get you there. It just maybe not the same as a V8 Ford. But yeah, it works. It definitely. Let's see. Someone talked about a 300ZX in 1980. And Andrew Button says he thinks the first year was 1984. I have an 85, 6, or 7 300ZX. It's the one with the pop-up headlights, not the plastic covered ones. So I don't remember what year that is, but it's not 83, so I didn't bother to get any pictures for tonight. 300ZX is a pretty cool car. I wish I had time and energy and money to invest in it right now, but so far it hasn't even come off the trailer.
Andrew Button's right. Do a timing belt on PT Cruiser. It makes everything else look convenient. Man, yeah, I had to do that. Took 2 of us days of cussing.
Front-wheel drive timing belts are just lovely.
Well, and that one is really bad.
Really?
That one's really bad, yeah. And you got to do it. You know, I think it's, what is it, 85,000 mile requirement, something like that?
I think that's the recommended. That's a nice looking truck. Oh, that's the Ford carryall.
That's the Ford that Mexican Spec was talking about.
I like the drip rail on this one a little better than the Dodge.
Well, see, this whole picture's really cool. I like the truck. I like that body style truck. What year is that? I don't know what year it is. 83?
83.
And then I like that Mustang that's right next to it.
That's not an 83.
No, but I like it. I like the looks of that Mustang.
38 Racing says in the 1960s, Chevy had a carryall. I'm going to look up.
I guess they called it. I know one of them called it a carryall. Maybe it was a Chevrolet. But I know they called it Suburban for a while. And maybe the carryall was the one that didn't have the windows or something. I don't remember. I remember one of them used that name. Yep, there are only 3 pictures down. Mike Murphy. Good evening. How you doing?
Welcome to the stream, Mike. Boy, we're going 2.5 hours.
Lester, Andrew, I helped a friend do a PT Cruiser timing belt. Awful job. Yep.
I am going to pull up. Oh, there's that.
Well, Carl, I told Carl we should just pull the damn engine out. No, let's do it in here. But it was pain
Here's
in the
the
ass.
Suburban carryall that Chevy had in the 60s.
Wow. They're all 4-wheel drives? Nope.
So
they didn't call. See right there, 1960 Chevrolet Suburban carryall. So they called it Suburban carryall. Wow.
And these are high boys mostly.
See, and that's got that nose that I like. That blue one there. It's next to my head. That's got the like those pods, like Ari's truck.
It kind of grows on you.
I like that hood. I like that hood.
Not aerodynamic in the slightest, but...
Well, I remember that, and it looked so cool when it came out. There's like these big pods coming down the road. Well, and the same thing when the 59 Chevys came out, they had these big, I don't know what you call them, big oval things up top. Mm-hmm. They look pretty cool. 38 Racing will know what I'm talking about. You remember that first year we had No Name Nationals. I got to go look at that 59 Chevy. That was the day I met Ray.
And that's the point. Dougster says, oh, my friend's aunt had one of those. And I think that's the point of the whole thing that we do here on Tuesday nights. We get to know one another, we interact, and we jog the neurons, right? It's good for us. Elderly enrichment, I call it sometimes.
Elderly enrichment.
In our golden years, it's nice to enjoy the memories. We remember our aunt who had one of those. And all along the way, American culture, I think Mexican culture, there's lots of places around the world where cars they're just an element of daily life. And we go about our business ignoring the commonplace. This is the car that we drive until it's gone. and then we have memories of it. And it's a little bit like time travel. I tell people when we go to the cruise in, I tell people, they're like, oh, my uncle had a car like it, or I knew the guy up the street had a car like it, whatever, da, 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 da. And they're looking at the interior and they tell me about the engines. You should put this engine in it. I knew a guy who put this in him. And it's a time machine. It takes you to a place and you distinctly remember that moment and you can reminisce, and it's good, it's healthy, it's fun, it's enjoyable. And we need as much joy in our lives as we can muster. So I hope you're getting a little bit of that out of tonight's show.
This
We
is
want to
another
be
Buddy Carfano.
entertaining and inspiring.
That's another Buddy Carfano car. 83. Monte Carlo. Lowered. And I think that might not be a car. That might be a drawing. I'm not sure. Sure looks like it. Dougster, headed off to bed. Good night.
Oh, Dougster. It is getting
Dougster's
late.
out.
Thank you for being here, Dougster. Hope to see you again soon. We will be in the shop. We're not leaving. I'm just saying we will be in the shop at least 1 or 2 days for the rest of the week. We usually do late night streams if you're not familiar. And we sort of pop them up a couple hours before that we're going to be in the shop. We do cleanup crew where we go out to the shop, and sometimes we do some shorts or record some stuff for some long-term content while we're also interacting with chat. It's a slightly different format. We don't read a lot of emails or do a lot of this green screen stuff.
I don't even have my email up there.
Yeah.
It's just whatever's going on in
It's
the shop.
a little more simple than the Tuesday night show, and it's late at night. So it's probably going to be closer to 9 or 10 Central Time. We usually come on after...
Or 11 or midnight.
after the headline shows
Or
are
1.
finishing up. So we call it Cleanup Crew, and we do that a couple nights a week. Because it's fun. It's honestly, it's a little bit easier to get things done when we have a distraction. He really enjoys it. If I tell him, hey, let's go live stream, he can't wait to get up the shop. It gets him on his game, and he thinks about it seems important. But if I say, hey, do you want to go work on the project? He's like,
Dr. Go's here. Good evening.
Dr. Go, welcome to the stream. Say hello to your wife for me.
Can you pull up Monte Carlo Aero Coupe?
I'll try.
Because the back window's different than the other Monte Carlos. And they're bringing that up. And I don't know if that's 83 or not. But
I don't know. It'll tell us.
AERO.
There it is. Aero Coupe. Hopefully we'll get pictures. We do.
So they did that for NASCAR. So
Bang!
they did that to make the airflow over the back better for NASCAR, but they sold very few. They sold enough of those so they could use it in NASCAR.
They don't look as cool. I do like the other thing, but I can see where that would be better for NASCAR.
Yep, flows the air over better.
That Monty is perfect.
Which one?
Dr. Go said she said hi back. I'm glad you guys are here. Hope you enjoy the show. We're still going for a little while. I don't know. How's your energy?
Right. Ray says the Grand Prix also had the Aero Coupe body. I forgot about that.
What year is this? 87.
Yeah, but we can look at it. It's a look at the Grand Prix Aero body.
The Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce that. There was a kid in our neighborhood used to say that back in the 60s. Yeah.
It brought up Grand National. Is the Grand National Aero Coupe the same? Or is that something even different? Yeah.
Grand Prix. That doesn't look real good, but I can see where it worked for NASCAR. I don't know. It's just because it's so unusual, I kind of like it, but do I like it? Oh, look at the front end. It's different too. 38 says he doesn't recall Oldsmobile doing it. Oh, look it up. See if there's an Oldsmobile Aero Coupe.
Maybe it's a different year.
Yeah, it's the same body,
It comes up as an option.
That's a Buick. Oh, down there by my head, that silver one.
This one.
I think so.
Let's see what it says. More rare than Aero Coupe, the 86 Grand.
What's it say? Gonna have to click on that to find out what it is. It's not gonna like that.
It's gonna go somewhere. It's Grand Prix.
Oh, it is a Grand Prix.
Yeah. I don't think the Grand National had an Aero Coupe.
Or you mean the Olds? Yeah, I don't think the Olds. I don't think there was one.
No.
Oh, I remember those though. Remember that one right above
But you
here?
never
Oh,
know.
you just went.
Sometimes when you take a deep dive on the internet, you learn something. Like we learned that there's an 83 Corvette, but just one. See, we learned that earlier in the show. And if we hadn't clicked down the rabbit hole, you might not have known.
Can you scroll back up a little bit?
No. Oh, on the chat?
No, on the pictures. I was about to show you something. You went flying by.
Sorry.
Okay, glorious garbage. Yeah, I like those. I had one of those. I always said it was the last of the big two doors.
It's the La Sabre Grand
Yes, the La Sabre.
National.
Yeah, it's a La Sabre. And yeah, it was a big, comfortable car. Mine, the engine took a shit, but it's seized up. But, you know, when you buy a car with over 100,000 miles on it, who knows what the maintenance was? Oh, here's one Buddy Carfano sent in. I'm going to put it up. And that's the Durango.
The Duranchero.
It was the like my car, only they hacked out the back of it and made a pickup bed, and then that tailgate was the whole tail light went down. You can see that on the red one down there. And when Mexican Spec was going to get a car for Lester LeSabre, and I was just quickly looking at the email. It came up and said Durango. I went, "You found him a Durango," and I read it again. I'm telling Ken, "Oh, they found him a Durango," and then I read it. And go, no, it's in Durango. So, man, you had me all excited because there's not so many of those around, but they're kind of interesting. I mean, we could do that to my car, but I don't want to do that to my car.
Hippie Long said they had to do the Aero Coupe because Ford smoked them. The T-Bird was hauling the mail.
Oh, yeah. You ever watch Dallas's T-Bird? Man. That thing
does it get it.
Gets with the program.
Mexican Spec didn't like them because the transmission always went out.
Oh, on which one's that? On the Grand, whatever it was, the Aero Coupes. What's this Mexican Spec? It is a 1983 Corvette, only if its VIN is an 83 Corvette. Yeah, there's only one left. They made a pilot run. There's a whole story about it from one of the GM engineers, and they had one set in there that they were supposed to destroy, but they were destroying them and they didn't get the last one done. So the next day it sat there, and it sat there days and days and days and days, and then they kind of forgotten. This is the way I remember the story. And then when they did find it, they had, wait a minute, this is the last one of these. And they ended up cleaning it up and taking it over to the museum, and now it's in the museum. So there's only one 83 Corvette. And I assume it is an 83 VIN. Of course, I don't know. It's a pilot run car, so it may not even have a VIN. I don't know. But that's what it was. And then in April, I looked at an 84 Corvette one time. It was a black 84, and I kind of wanted it. And the production date was April. It had an April 83 date on it. It was an 84, so I know what happened. They just didn't get the 83s done on time, so by the time they hit the showrooms, they just called it an 84. So there's a lot of 84 Corvettes all the way from April of one year to probably July or August of the next year. Yeah, Mexican Spec, you might check with the museum and ask them, or the next time I'm up there, if I can get close enough to it. That it seems to me that rope, I might be able to get close enough to it. I can reach over and snap a picture.
Just step over the rope.
Stick a picture I'll
The
take you.
rope,
I'll take you up there
the
sometimes.
rope does not apply to famous YouTube
So
celebrity people.
I'd at least ask, and then reach over there and snap a picture of the VIN. It would be kind of interesting. But you know,
You could get a press pass.
and then he says it may not have a VIN, which is his point.
Could
Yeah,
not.
I don't know. Pilot cars.
Do they add the VIN after?
Do pilot cars have a VIN? I think they do. Prototypes sometimes don't. The difference between a prototype is a hand-built car. The pilot runs are the first run of 10, 15 cars that go through that they can take out to the proving grounds and drive around, and they're representative of what's supposed to be the production car, but sometimes they have to make some changes.
Oh, it got quiet. Everybody got bored.
Everybody got bored with
They
us.
all left. Everybody left at once.
Che-
Mass exodus of viewers.
Chevy did the same with the Beretta, Corsica, and Sea Carriers. They all came out in March of '87 as '88 models. Oh, okay. Man, I remember those, the Beretta and the Corsica. I liked those cars. I was out in California doing something, and I ended up with a Corsica rental car for a while. But I liked the looks of the Beretta better. I thought the Beretta was a pretty nice car. What you just decided to take us back into the prehistoric times? What, is it too quiet?
It got quiet. Where did everybody go?
Everybody disappeared.
I don't know. Everybody left.
Well, maybe.
The streaming dragged off way all our viewers.
Maybe. That's a hint.
No. Do you think we got boring?
We could.
We were
We've been here
interesting.
2 hours and 40 minutes.
We were interesting.
Yeah, I rented a Corsica too. It went okay. Here's a
Corsica was a good
Corsica had
car when
these.
it was new.
The steering wheels here had these knobs here, which was kind of weird, but I got used to it.
What year was the Corsica Beretta? Oh, I remember the Beretta. That was a gun and a car. Mexican Spec asks if we'll put up his Mustangs. You know what it was? We started doing car ads for Mexican Spec. Everybody was like, I don't want to listen to this. See? You ran everybody off trying to sell them Mexican cars, Mexican Spec.
No, I'm downloading. I'm downloading his pictures right now.
I want to bring up a Beretta. I remember one. Oh no, car. Chevy. There we go.
Well, I like the.
I gotta look at Wikipedia.
I like the Beretta better than the Corsica.
The Beretta was 87. Oh, we can put it.
Well, we can show it. We're talking about it.
Yeah. You know, the crazy thing is look.
I think that was a decent looking car.
Look at that car. That's 1987, and then look at the cars from 1980. Just 7 years earlier. This is so much more sporty. 1980, they were building some dogs. This would be really exciting after a few years of what they were putting out in the early 80s. All right, Mexican Spec.
Oh, he says it was not 87. So what the hell was it?
Well, Wikipedia says it was 87.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia says...
They were 88 models. That's what he said. They came out in March of '87. They were 88 models.
Oh, well, it says it was produced from 87, so it might have not been 80. Yeah.
Designer Jerry
Production.
Palmer.
Model years, it says 87. There must have been at least one 87.
Who knows?
The Berettas did... Yeah, they refined some of these new styling, some of the plastics, you know... Like they finally figured out, like, ooh, that is kind of hideous. Maybe we can do better. And the Beretta, I don't know who they had working on this body design, but they cleaned it up a little bit. And then this
says there it was Jerry Palmer. I have no idea who Jerry Palmer is.
I don't know, but maybe someday we'll take a deep dive into that when we're doing cars from
He'll
87.
pop in here sometime. Tell us.
Well,
story.
when we're doing cars from this era, maybe we will try and remember to look up the people who were responsible for the designs. If I can just figure out how to, I'm going to click on this picture of Mexican Spec car. There it is.
I think this is the one that was in our thumbnail. That's actually a Mustang. It looks like a Capri, but it's a Mustang.
Oh, okay.
And it's because in Mexico they had the Capri nose on the Mustang. Oh no, this is not the one, because this is a bubble back one.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
This looks like a Capri, completely like a Capri, but it's a Mustang in Mexico.
Dr. Ghost says, I saw a picture the other day of that smaller, older Ford Ranger pickup. Someone put a mid-70s Lincoln Continental front end on and rear end angle slanted, then made it look like a little ranchero. I did see that picture. It's kind of a meme picture. And yeah.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the one I wanted to show.
I mean, it's cool that people customize cars, but Andrew Button says 88 models. I don't know. I don't really remember. I wasn't in the market for a new Beretta. In 2007, I bought here in Mexico a 96 Beretta GTZ. Okay, see? 96. Wait, not 96. 87? Okay. Oh, what is a GTZ? Grand Theft Zebra? I love the wheels on this one, says Mexican Spec. And he does say no, it was not the one. Bring up the picture so we can see the wheels. Go back.
Oh.
Go back. I want to see the wheels. Mexican Spec says he loves them.
I'm digging through too many pictures. These, I don't like. Those aren't my favorite wheels. They look okay. I like wide tires.
Dialing a telephone.
What did they call it? Yeah, it looks like a telephone dial. You know that noise?
Did you know they made an 86 Cougar 4-door? Mexican Spec says.
Yeah, it's a big mid-sized car. I had to scrap a set of TRX wheels from an early Fox. No tires available. Really? Those are not Mexican wheels. They're aftermarket. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought those were what came on it. Okay, so here's the car, but I want to get to the next car, which is this one, which is the one I put on the thumbnail. And I really like this picture because there's a wagon right behind it, but on the thumbnail I ended up covering up with all our writing. I was kind of, I don't know, I had to put it somewhere, and I was late and I was in a hurry, so I covered up that wagon, but now I'm showing it. So, oh, the Grand Theft Zephyr. Oh, but not the production car. The 4-door 86 Cougars were custom made here and sold at the Ford dealers. Oh, really? Because I thought there were 4 doors up here too. But maybe he knows that. I don't know. Wow. They were custom made in Mexico. I wonder if that car makes that telephone noise going down the road.
That's right.
Yeah,
Instead of a burnout.
This is an 83 Mexican Mustang, which has the Capri front end on it. And I like it because it's a notchback. And it has a Capri front end because I really don't like the bubble back, but I really like these. So this is actually pretty nice.
You have to, Andrew, if you reverse and then go forward, it makes the noise.
Steering wheel's got some issues, doesn't it? But that can be repaired. Let's see what's that look like.
Oh, my steering wheel and my darts like that really bad.
That can be fixed. That's not insurmountable. But it's got the dash like our Mustangs.
I mean, it's not even remotely insurmountable. They sell tons and tons of aftermarket steering wheel options. You'll need a
but I mean, you can fix that.
Then it will be custom. I ain't fixing that. It's just a stock steering wheel.
Yeah, but it's a good looking stock steering wheel. Mexican Spec says an 82 4-door Cougar and wagon. That was the square Fox body. Yeah, that's what. Oh, okay. So the 86 Cougar was a different car. Yeah, get some pictures of those. I want to see what those are. Yeah, see, and I like those headrests of that net looking thing back there.
Is that stock? That's how it came from the factory? I don't ever remember seeing anything like that. That's unusual. Yet another manual shift car.
Manual shift car. What engines this have? Oh, I spoke too soon.
It's 302.
There's the answer. Mexican 302. And you You know what this one has? This one looks like it has air conditioning. Because I see Mexican cars that don't even have heat. They don't have heat or air conditioning, but this one's got AC.
I don't see it.
Well, you
I
see,
lose it in the black.
you see, there's the hose over here, and then over here you see all the stuff that goes in the firewall. That was the end I pulled apart on the.
It looks like a heater was
Fairmont.
bypassed, though.
Yeah, heater's bypassed, but the
Don't need heat in Mexico anyway. They probably bypassed it so it didn't get hot in the cab
so
because it's Mexico. Because Mexico, it runs on tequila.
I like that car. Cheese grater taillights. I don't know. That looks pretty nice. Needs a heater though, but somebody probably needs a heater.
If you're
But-
gonna drive it where
but-
you need heat, yeah.
We're getting good at that job.
Mexican Spec sent a video of the four-door Cougar from an old Mexican movie. That's
Oh,
pretty
that's
neat.
interesting. Let's see what I can come up with.
Okay, hold on. Before you do that, let me.
Mess with my computer.
This is where you need to mute. Now we can unmute.
I think your thing does that. I think your thing over here unmutes that, but maybe not.
No, it absolutely does not. And we need to go to settings. And we need to go from speakers.
Kim's messing with my computer.
How do we change the output device?
I don't know. You said you knew what you were doing.
Did I say that?
You grabbed my mouse and said you knew what you were doing. Oh man, we're deep in the weeds now.
We're doing Windows stuff.
Got Windows stuff up here. I just want to see the pictures. I don't care about the noise.
Okay, you're right. Go back to the pictures. Okay, sorry everyone. Trying to do things. You missed.
Jesus.
There it is.
Oh, look
There
at
it
that.
is.
Oh, that
Four-door
looks
Cougar.
really strange, doesn't
You
it?
could slow it down too if you wanted. Oh no, it's a video. You can't do it. Okay.
Maybe it'll show it again. Maybe I can just stop it. Look at that. A four-door Cougar from that body style. That is a weird looking thing.
I mean, it kind of looks
Look
like
at that.
a lot of sedans that came after.
And they did that. That was a conversion in Mexico.
Oh, it was a conversion.
So you could have that guy there with a hat that puts you in the
Mhm.
back door.
Mm-hmm.
You have a
Chauffeur.
chauffeur.
The chauffeur.
Jack stands center blocks, about to jump off. Have to be ready for work tomorrow.
You can't
We're
go yet.
We're expecting rain tomorrow. You probably work outside.
Ooh. I hope you don't get too much rain.
Okay, so we showed a video. Of a
We
car-
didn't check the garden in like 2 days. I
Well,
gotta go
I-
out there with a flashlight and see if the
I
corn is
checked it
growing.
yesterday, and we have corn up. Corn is up. Definitely corn is up.
This high.
Oh no, it's about this high.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's
I
like
gotta go see
it's
it.
like 5 or 6
I
inches
can
high,
hardly wait.
and there's a lot of it. There's a lot of corn up.
I wonder if my radishes are germinating.
I don't know.
We had a little bit of rain last night.
Remember I mowed.
Yeah.
Remember when I came over to get gas because I was running out of gas.
Yeah.
My little trip to come
The
get the
gasoline
gas.
can was in the swimming pool.
So
He's like, "Where's my gas can?" I looked all over for it. I'm like, "Oh, it's in the swimming pool." And he
Why
was
are you
like,
putting
"Oh, of course. Why didn't I look there?"
So during that little drive to come over and get gas, I went by where the garden is. And I went, wow, look at that corn. It's up.
Chrysler M body. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit, right? Jack stands, I see lightning from that direction tonight. Oh.
That's
Are you going to make your own gasoline? I'm not. Who are we talking about?
make our own gas. Oh, in the pool? No. See, the pool
No.
doesn't have water. I know. It sounds like a place where there's water.
But it's
It's
not.
a place where there was a
It's
pool.
just a flat spot with a deck around it.
It's with a half a deck around it. It's a place where there was a pool at one time, so it's still called the pool.
It's a demolition zone.
But it's not a pool at all. It's a demolition zone. But she was filling up her skid steer over there.
Jack stands in Cinderblock says, I hope it rains a lot so I don't have to work. I need to catch up on paperwork and edit videos. Well, then I hope it doesn't. I hope it does rain a lot so you can do that.
Well, this year I think we're going to have pretty good luck with corn. It sounds like tomorrow's short, Buff's garden spot. Didn't we do a spot out there? Yeah, it was me crashing almost tipping over the rototiller.
Oh, that rototiller is a beast. Man.
Corn is designed to grow in mass. We did a bunch of it in rows, and then Kim says, well, the old Native Americans used to just put it in a big clump. So I said, okay. So I did one in a big old clump, and it's like, yeah, there's corn coming up in the clump too. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, there is good. Yeah. But I think we did about 5 rows of corn. Last year we did 2 rows.
I think we did more than that.
We didn't get any corn at all last year, did we?
Oh, last year was it?
We started really late.
We planted and then it never rained again. This year we planted and it rained and rained and rained and rained. I'm like, well, as long as it doesn't wash away, we'll have corn.
Well, last year we were like a month and a half later than now.
It didn't wash away.
We had not touched it yet, so it was kind of like an afterthought that I was like, oh man, we didn't plant a garden yet. We should try and plant it. And he was like, I want to grow corn, and I didn't really think about what the date was. It was like, wow, we're really late to try and start corn. Like when we were planting our corn, the neighbor's corn was already this tall, so we were really late. And then the weather just was not cooperating. So, I'm sorry. We got onto the garden.
Okay. Dean Stevens. What was that?
That was a light. Dean, you get 2 points for talking about the advertisement. Lost Nay HVAC.
Had another ad, but not sure who from.
Well, you got one. That's
you got one. That's good.
And then you
that's like
skip.
Whatever you did to that light, really.
Change directions. I keep bumping the table because I'm all jittery because I had 6 cups of coffee.
Oh, excited. She's going to knock the table over. There's a leg in the middle that's just sort of there.
But I just keep
it's not it's on a hinge or something. So when you bump it, the table goes in the middle. It's not good because there's a hinge here. This table is a massage table that was in this house. I think my former wife left it here. And so we covered it with this tablecloth, whatever it is. But it's meant to fold up. So every once in a while, Kim bumps a leg and it folds up. That's just convenient table. I kind of like it. It's padded and it's worked out for us. Except
it's okay for a studio table.
Middle
Hippie Long says the wind blows the pollen from the tops of ears. So shake the tops on the ears. I think we have some insects that help with that, and a lot of wind. The neighbor has I don't know which one. It depends. If the wind blows all in one direction, you won't get pollination at the beginning of the rows. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll just lop the top off of one stalk.
The wind here blows one way and it blows the other way and it swirls. And I'm not really worried about it. This is a very friendly environment for a garden. Whereas when I was in California, a garden was, it had to be irrigated. You had to do everything just right. Yeah, it was a real pain in the ass. My father, I grew up in California. My father did a garden every year and it was a big deal. Go out there in the side yard and grow corn and radishes and carrots. He used to grow these little carrots, and we'd pull them out and wash them off in the hose and eat them right there. They were good. So I did that.
You didn't drink from the hose, did you?
Well, of course we did.
You're not supposed to drink from the hose.
They had some work done on the house. So there were these construction guys there. They had a wall put in and some construction. So these guys were there, and they had these metal cups out by the water faucet, and they'd fill metal cups up with a hose and drink. So we were little kids, like 4 or 5 years old. So we saw that going on. We had to copy those men and drink out of the hose, That became a thing. Of course. What are you going to do when you're 4, 5, 6 years old and construction guys you've never seen are drinking out of a hose? Man, there's a guy they extended the roof out a little bit and kind of made one of the rooms bigger. So there's this roof that came out and had a peak on it, and it was shingles. And the contractor says, I know a guy that'll do that. He does a good job and everything. This guy showed up. I remember this. He was 86 years old. My dad was worried about him because he'd climb up on the roof and he'd be up all day banging away, and then he'd come back the next day and he'd walk home. And we lived a long ways from like the center of town where he lived. My father says, don't you want me to give you a ride? No, I'll walk. And I remember the last day he was there, he did accept a ride from my father. My father gave him a ride home. But he was 86 years old. That was in 1960. And he just an old guy up there working. Yeah.
Dean Stevenson says drinking from the hose causes genetic mutation. You know what else does? Hornet stings. Remember we were talking about that?
Oh, yeah. I said you can make statistics say anything you want. You can prove any point with statistics. And I'll tell you why. Because my arm's getting better. It's not as, still it's weak, but it's generally getting better.
And the itching.
And oh, yeah, the itching business I have. That's what it was. I had this itchy rash on my back. So it's getting better. But I changed shampoo. She talked me into changing shampoo and using it for body wash.
And it's working.
And it's working quite well. And
but what
so wait a minute. So what happened was I got stung by this stupid wasp, and it took like 9 days for the swelling to go away. I said, this is what you do with statistics. That wasp sting cleared up my back. I know because I got the wasp sting and the back cleared up. So she goes, no, it was the changing of the baby shampoo.
Maybe it was from drinking from the hose.
Maybe it was from drinking from the hose.
Mutation
in 1960,
that made your back itchy part of your back clear up.
In 1960. Andrew Button, I drank from the hose back then. Yeah, of course. And then what did we learn? Because we're kids and we're playing with the hose. And for some reason, we had a white candle that we stole from my mother. And we took that candle and jammed it down in the hose. And you go way down the hose, and one kid takes a hose and aims it. The other one has a hose clamped in half. And you go like that real quick. And the candle goes like 2 neighbors down and lands in their yard. And then you run and get it. It's like a little rocket, man. It's like a gun, so. And then, of course, we got caught.
Andrew asks, do you think that guy is still alive somewhere? I think he's talking about the old roofing guy.
Oh, no. This is 1960, and he was 86 in 1960.
Oh, that's only 140 years old. He's still around.
So he's, he was, I was a little kid. It's like, oh, yeah, he's 86 years old, and he wants to walk home. Okay. But my father's like, no. Because he had to walk down the street, through a field, over the railroad tracks, and then into this other area. And my father goes, no, I'll just drive you, And we drove around over where you're supposed to cross the railroad tracks and took him home. But otherwise, he walked to work and he walked home from work. God, imagine what he saw. 1960, and he was 86, so he was born, in the late 1800s? There were no cars then. He walked or rode a horse everywhere,
Tim says you have to cover the gardens here in Colorado. The hail will tear up anything. That sounds horrible. How do you cover like a field of crops in Colorado? What do you grow that's hail resistant? That would just destroy stuff.
Andrew Button, I got bitten by a super bee, and it cleared up my wanting a Chevelle SS.
Exactly. It was a genetic mutation.
Okay, can you find on here?
Spider bee, spider pig, spider pig. Does whatever a spider pig. What am I doing? What am I looking at?
Can you look up brown paper wasp? Maybe you don't have to put brown, because I thought they were brown and you think they're red, so they're probably a reddish brown. I don't know what the hell they are. Yeah, there they are. That nasty thing.
Oh, he's vengeful towards those wasps. I got this big brown one right here.
Yeah, the brown one right
or maybe this reddish one over here, where it says plus.
Yeah, that's it.
This kind of looks like it.
Got stung by one of those things.
They're everywhere. Yeah, I mean, everywhere this year.
I've been here for 19 years, and they're just always here. Never got stung by one until this year. And man, it was 9 days before the swelling went down. I was starting to get worried about it, that maybe it would never go down, or maybe it'd creep up my finger and get worse. But it did clear up my back. Mike Murphy, I'm allergic to bees. All hail the paper scissors and wasp. Man, those things they were in the shop. We were in there last night. Was it last night we were in there? No, it was the night before we were in there. And they were flying around. And I'm like, hey, look out.
I thought one was in my hair. I was flipping out. I was like, get it off, it's in my hair.
That was during the live.
Yeah, it scared the crud out of me.
There was nothing in your hair.
It hit my hair.
It probably hit your hair and
it bounced off. They're always bouncing off the lights, and every once in a while they'll knock themselves senseless and come down on you. Ugh.
We're gonna fumigate that place. Get rid of those guys.
Well, that's why they were all in an uproar, because we started that Spitfire and the smoke from it.
Oh, the Spitfire smoke in the shop. That's when they all went nuts. Yeah. Under button, we had mud daubers back then in Colorado. Same color as Sublime Mopar. They're little and it hurts like hell. You know, I see mud daubers nests. That my Zephyr had mud
up
daubers
under
nests
the dash, all around
in the
engine,
doors,
in the doors.
Yep, they were all over.
Everywhere.
Says the wasp likes brown paper. No, it makes a nest that looks like paper. I mean, just looks and feels like paper, like little hexagon papers.
Tim says there are cornfields in central because there's no hail over there, potatoes in southern, and Rocky Ford cantaloupes in southeastern Colorado. I see.
We don't have any melons planted, do we? Did you plant any peppers? I don't know what she planted because she had all these seeds she bought.
No, I didn't buy any pepper seeds. I still didn't plant the tomatoes. I have so much to do.
Tim says, not many crops here. Things don't bloom up here at altitude. You know, something I noticed. I mean, how could I not notice it? I came through there one summer. It might have been 2013. Might have been 2014. I was headed from South Dakota back to Arizona. So I went through that area. My God, the fly population must have been 1 million flies just in a matter of 100 miles. It's just like everywhere. Flies. Man. Is that something normal at the altitudes or is it just a weird year? Mud daubers around here, as Olive says, mud daubers around here aren't aggressive except against other wasp species. They like to buzz over you.
There's not nearly as many, like we see lots of nests, but you only see like a lone mud dauber usually, and they bugger off. But these red ones, they're bouncing everywhere. They're flying at your head, and there's a bunch of them in the nest. And if you disturb a nest, like if you're like I was hammering on the door and they were in a nest up above and they didn't like that, now they're swarming everywhere. Mud daubers, that doesn't happen very.
We don't have many mud daubers, I don't think, or they're hidden well. We used to have honeybees here because my former wife had beehives, but we had a very cold year and it killed them all. And I just didn't care to start that business up again because it's not a lot of work, but you do have to pay attention to them, and I want to pay attention to other things.
Mike Murphy got hail the other day in Fort Collins. Yikes. We don't get too much hail. We don't get the tornadoes either. They just a few miles north of us is where they go.
Oh, north side.
We're lucky.
There's a flat spot kind of north side of Clarksville, and they go roaring through there and tear stuff up.
Oh, we're talking about weather and hornets. Where have we gone? You get hail up and down the front range of the Rocky Mountains. That makes sense because it's air movements and it's pretty predictable.
Look at this. Man 3. Would you get bitten by an Asian zebra mosquito? Okay, you're going to bring that up.
Oh, I'll bring it up then.
Asian zebra mosquito. Those little effers are a whole different type of pain.
Now we got to.
You know what I learned about, what I didn't know anything about till I moved to Tennessee, was chiggers. A chigger is the thing that burrows into your skin and itches like hell. You think it's a mosquito bite, but it's not. It's horrible. Makes you wish you had mosquito bites.
Ugh, just thinking about it.
That thing. Yeah, mosquitoes are not fun. We do have mosquitoes here, but we spray
That's not a.
ourselves.
It says tiger mosquito. This isn't a zebra mosquito. Is there such thing?
Yeah, that's an Asian tiger mosquito. Did you put in zebra mosquito? You
I
did.
did.
Oh, there's one. Oh, that's
AI
tiger.
will not show me a zebra.
AI
mosquito.
won't let her do that.
It just doesn't.
Notice buff. It said with a Z. Z. Asian Z mosquito.
Zebra mosquito. Zebra mosquito.
Asian zebra mosquito.
Do you got any zebra car pictures? Go ahead and I'm gonna take a quick.
You're gonna take a quick break.
Quick. But here you can put up another thing.
I can put up another
North
thing.
Denver got baseball-sized hail. That's insane.
That's not good. Yeah, size of a dime. Tiger. Sorry. Oh, it is tiger. Kim, you did pull up the right ones. Kim? I think she disappeared. Let's see what else I've got here. I can't bring up some of these because I need Kim's deal over there. Okay, I'm going to try to bring this up. This is when everybody will know it. It's an 83 Subaru Brat. Remember these things with the seats in the back and the handles you hold on to? Oh, it says try opting out of the darn AI. Might just be the nickname for the same critter. Yeah, AI is like, I don't know if you can opt out of that. I mean, you can try, but I think we're stuck with that nonsense. Man, I see some AI stuff, AI generated YouTube videos that talk about old cars, and they are so wrong. I just hate
They're
it.
the worst kind of wrong because they're very authoritative about their incorrect facts. They're sure of them.
So who was it that I was saying was going to do? Somebody in here, I think, was going to do a history on a car without AI. They're going to do it themselves. Maybe I was just watching it and didn't talk to you about it. I don't know. I'll think of it because my brain's half dead. There's a way I forget the details. Oh, I've tried to opt out of some of it, and it was like, nah, we're not going to let you do that. What?
Hey, it's a Subaru Brat. Is a 1983 model?
Yeah, this is when you left. You said put up something else.
That's a cool truck. I'll dig that.
Buddy Carafano.
I wonder what motor they have.
Well, it's like, those engines. Take one apart.
No, I don't know the 83 engine. That's a different vehicle. I don't know what's in there at all.
What engine? What year's yours?
That's a 99.
Oh, it's a lot newer.
Yeah.
I remember when these things were new. Look, that one's got T-tops. T-tops and seats in the back.
Colleen says they're ninja biters. You never see them, but boy, you'll remember it.
What's this Dean's talking about? You don't get UTG style separation anxiety. Hold on, Bob. What? What's that about?
When I walk away.
When I walk
away, you don't get all flustered.
When I used to do the lives with him, Kathy was across. She did everything on a phone. I think they've got a screen and they're doing it more like we're doing it now. But she had a phone. She had a phone, and she'd have to go. Go in the house, take a break. We'd be out in the backyard.
Feed the dog.
And he'd freak out. Where you going? He told me, Buff, go around the other side. Man, I'd never read the chat before, and I got her phone, and I try to scroll, and it goes, and it scrolled like an hour and a half back, and I was like trying to find my place again. And oh man, did I struggle with that? Yeah, I didn't like being the person with the phone down there at UTG.
Tim wants to know how many points for a Subaru Brat.
We don't even have a Subaru
I've
Brat.
given up my Subaru Brat. I don't even got it yet, but once I get it,
Andrew Budden says little boxer engine. So it's not an overhead cam, or
well, the one that
because some of them are not.
the boxer, the engine that's in mine is a boxer engine.
It's a boxer
so it must be
engine,
a
but
little
it's
boxer.
but the way you said little boxer, I'm thinking it's like a not overhead cam.
I don't know any of the
know.
details about any of the earlier Subaru engines. I know the EJ25 that's in mine, and I know that they started making it like a couple years before that. So I don't know what's before that.
I got to tell a Tony story. They're talking about Kathy being on that side, and then Tony and I were on the other side, so she's pointing the camera at us. And Tony had started venturing off into some kind of political or financial advice, and she'd be sitting there. She'd go into this mode, like this, waving at her, and just terrible look on her face. And he wouldn't even react to it. He'd just go on talking, and she'd get wilder with her no. Sometimes he'd go, what? Because this isn't bad. And he'd just go on and talk about it. But she'd freak out. It was so funny. And he just looked, it's like he didn't even notice her, you know. It was funny.
Colleen, we don't say stuff like that about people.
What's that? Oh,
anybody can have some characteristics, but to call someone that just outright that is probably inaccurate at best, and so it's hurtful. I don't know. Tony has been a friend.
Tony's been a good friend.
I know not everybody gets along.
There's people that get upset with Tony, but you know what? Tony's been a good friend, and he's given us stuff that we have put to good use. That engine that's in the Valiant, well, actually the Valiant, his half of the Valiant he gave to me. I bought the other half from Stubby. And then the engine, it was a bunch of old slant six stuff that was in pretty bad shape, but he gave it all to us and had a good cam in it. It was a really cool cam, and we built it into an engine that's running, you know. And he's given me some other things. What else has Tony given me? I know he's given me other stuff, and he's treated us real well. When he got the new shop, the big shop, not the one he's in now, but the big shop, the day he got it, he handed me a key. I said, "You're giving me a key to your shop?" And he goes, "You going to steal anything?" I said, "No." He goes, "Well, you get a key to the shop." Okay. So, not many people do that, you know. And I just worked in there sometimes. It was a pretty good deal, you know, nice guy.
Let's see. Oh, Tavo's here.
Oh, Tavo. Where'd Tavo pop in? There he is. There he
Welcome to
is.
the stream,
Greetings,
Tavo.
Earthlings. That's why. See, I didn't see that. And then I see something about Dean Stevenson saying, "I'm from New Zealand, Middle Earth, not Earth." I think, what's he talking about? Now I know what he's talking about.
Tavo says it's a Subaru Brumby down here. That's
Brumby?
the Brat. That's pretty cool.
That's a cool name.
A
Brumby.
We are not going to, Tavo, we're not going to do the Valiant Ute yet.
No,
it's kind of getting backburnered. We're working on the Spitfire project. I don't know if you saw the video that we've started that in earnest. Quite a lot of doing on that. Our live streams as well. We've made more progress on the live streams than I've been able to make into long form content. So.
Oh, I'm trying to manipulate your stuff with my mouse. Where is it? You see what I'm doing? There. Nobody else needs to know about that. They can't. I skipped a series of commercials.
Okay.
Because it was going to interrupt what we're talking about. Brumby, I think that's a cool name. What does that mean? Does that have a meaning in Australia? Mom M3 says Tony was a good friend until he wasn't. I know people have been burned. Yeah, there's two sides. Yeah, of course. And
there's unquestionably people who do not like Tony.
There's things
I even understand to some extent why, but there is two sides to everything.
What I decided with Tony was that's a business. I mean, he rents a shop and he does his stuff in his YouTube. That's a business. That's how they survive. that's his work every day. So if you go down there and you interrupt his work, yeah, you're going to have trouble. But if you go down there and you kind of help him with his work or stay out of his way, which is what you really need to do, you'll be friends with him. And you got to understand where that line is. And sometimes you mess up, but, you know, I don't know. I just understood what Tony wanted and kind of tried not to get in his ways. And I think we were okay. Brumby is Australian for wild horse. Oh, Brumby. That's what they should have called the Mustang. Brumby. That's a cool name. Oh, says a Brumby's like a kangaroo. Now it sounds like it's more like a horse. It's okay. No one is chained to the fence. That's, of course, you're actually chained to the fence. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat's here. Hello. How you doing?
Welcome to the stream.
And Tavo's trying to speak Spanish. Hola. Hola, or in Russian, как вы поживаете? Or как дела? How are you doing? Oh, man. Hola. Hola's so much easier. Hola. Oh, says Tony's not too easy to get along with, clearly. I don't know. You just, I don't know. I know the guy, and he's like, yeah,
This is not the Pick on Tony show.
I just figured it out. And he's like, I don't know.
This is not the Pick on Tony show. There's really, it's just not.
I'm on 3. Hey, you don't have to leave. Come on, guys. Everyone have a great week.
Good night.
I hope we didn't chase you off. I'm just, everybody has your opinion. Yeah, anyway. So, where we at here? We got a Brumby up there.
We usually try and go on. We talked about the Arrow. We brought up this little Subaru, which is a really cool car.
I thought this was something else.
A Saab. There you go. We haven't seen a picture of
one
a Saab.
Tony Carafano's.
Buddy Carafano cars.
Then he's got another one too. He's got a couple more here. He's got another one here. I know I want to see. Oh, here we go. It's an early one. The early style minis.
Look how little those wheels look.
Look at how little they are.
Are they little, or is it just a proportioning thing?
Oh, it's 11:30. I have to work.
It has been getting late.
Yep.
Not everybody's in the same time zone. Thanks for being here, Colleen. We love you.
I had a guy next door to my first radiator shop. It was a crank grinding shop, and the guy that owned the thing was in there, and he used to get the crankshafts out of these, and he didn't like them because they were always all scarred up. And he said, another one of these mini things, and he goes, you almost always got to turn them beyond what their limit is, and then they're no good. And so he didn't like those. I said, why are they like that? He goes, because the transmission oil and engine oil is all together, and all the stuff from the gears and the synchros and everything gets into the bearings, and it chews the crank all up. It's like, oh, okay. So I don't know if they didn't have an oil filter or what. I don't know why it did that, because other cars did that. Lamborghini did that, I think. And there were other cars that transmission and the motorcycles, transmission and the engine oils together. So I don't know why those are so bad, but they were bad. Yeah, they actually are. They are little wheels. What are they, like 12-inch or maybe 10-inch? 10-inch wheels? Kim, we got that line back again from the...
You know why?
The green screen. I don't know why.
We're on a different screen. I can fix it.
It did it again.
We're on a different screen. See, instead of being on like this screen, we're on this screen. See how it's here but not here?
Yeah, but that screen's... Yeah,
it's just the camera's positioned tonight. I think I can. It'd take me a minute. Talk about something, I'll fix it.
This One-Eyed Cat says, be right back. I got to pick up my trash can. Oh, Talo says they're 10-inch. 10-inch wheels. I got 10-inch wheels on a trailer out here, and I always thought they were too small to get tires for. So, oh, you fixed it. No, that's the other
Oh, let's see if it's
That's the other one. Yeah, it's fixed.
it's fixed.
It's fixed.
I'm a pro.
I mean, these always look cool and they handle really well, but they're silly little cars. You know, and the new Mini's completely different car, but looks kind of like it. It's a BMW.
Well, yeah, and it's a more practical sort of design for the markets that they wanted to move into.
I got a friend in Arizona has one of the new style Minis. You know, it's probably 10 years old, but it's a BMW version. And he's a welder fabricator and has a really good job fabricating big stuff, big like beams for parking garages and skyscrapers and stuff. But on the weekends, he builds speakers, and he builds speakers that are about this big. And there's like one speaker across the back of his Mini in there, and you can hear it if he's driving down the road two blocks before he gets to you. You hear it, boom, 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 boom. And he goes, "Yeah," he says, "I can rearrange merchandise on shelves in stores when I come by." But he's always out there tightening up all the nuts and bolts that get loosened from his speaker because it vibrates the car so badly the nuts and bolts back out, which I always thought was kind of funny. Somebody would have a speaker that would do that.
Buddy Carfano is insisting this is the second time he's made the same comment that we should do our favorite car next week instead of a specific year.
Well, let's think now. 83 was our last year that we had. So we either have to come up with a new year or a new, like he says, a favorite car.
I don't mind the whole theme, the
Discuss it while I
theme.
look at my email.
The theme would be favorite car. But buddy, if we make it favorite car, you can just send one. And you usually send lots of pictures. So how is that going to be
Andrew
okay
Button.
for you? You sure?
Andrew Button.
He said he sent another picture.
Yeah, he sent an email without a picture.
Oh, did you forget to attach?
Yeah, there's no attachment on it. So either you forgot or it fell off.
Hippie Long says the newer minis are no good. Oh, I've never owned one.
Who said that? Oh, Hippie Long. Yeah, the problem with the new Minis is it's a new car. It's all electronic and it's a BMW. It's like every time he has problems with it, it's off the BMW dealer and they plug it in and, for $1,500 or $2,500, they replace something and it's going again. It's nothing he can fix. And he's got a point where he's parked the car because it's what do you call it? It's a place you pour money into and nothing comes out of it. Looks like a car Paul McCartney died in. Really? He died in a car? I had a proper Morris Mini back in the Estavo. I had a proper Morris Mini back in the 80s. Great little car. I'm also over 6 feet and fit in it better than most cars. That's the thing. Those things are tiny, but they've got room in them. My cousin, her boyfriend, who she eventually married, was a Canadian guy, and he was going to school in California, and they met, and they ended up getting married, and they packed all their crap. And he was a big, tall guy. They packed all their crap in their Mini and drove off to Canada. I was amazed. Kim, can you look at all that stuff while I'm downloading?
Oh, what stuff? The chats?
Yeah. Because I can't pay attention to
Mexican Spec suggests that there's lots of different kinds of favorites. There's a favorite overall, favorite sports car, favorite luxury car, lots of favorites. I think a lot of times we just talk about our favorite classic cars. So,
Ooh,
it's interesting.
That's too close.
We usually are open to a consensus. That is too close. Boy, that is a pretty car. Wow,
it's
still kind of
Andrew
big.
Buttons. Like he says, I resent my little car photo, not attached before. Sorry,
That is beautiful. That's really nice.
Bucket T Ford. Man, I like that.
That's nice. Somebody really put a lot of time and chrome into that. How much do you think that car cost to build?
Oh, I don't know. I can't imagine. Look at that 59 Cadillac taillights. Real common thing back in the day, wide white walls.
Do you
I
think
I don't know.
$15,000 or $20,000
I
that
don't
car
know.
cost?
Today's money, I have no idea. And the steering wheel's at a normal angle. Not those T-buckets, the steering shaft is straight up and down.
We'll see where the steering box is, and it has a rod that goes
Yeah,
way out.
well, yeah, the steering box is there, and then it's got a rod. Usually, the steering box, it's usually like this, and then that drag link is longer. But that one might actually
Well, the
be
engine, it's really stretched way out with the engine way back.
that one might actually be nicer to drive than most of them. Mexican Express, they want 395,000 pesos for it.
A 91 model Mini.
I don't know what that is in dollars. Man, I can't think pesos very well. Does that red line show for people, or do they see us, or what's going on, Kim?
They don't see the red line.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
They
See that. Okay.
They see that. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Enter
mean to
button.
distract.
It's reversed Corvair box. I did it. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's nice. You drive that very often, or just like to a show once in a while, or I mean, you probably don't daily drive it, but I mean, just get out and get run some.
That's impressive work. I mean, obviously, I'm just looking at a picture, but that's really neat.
Mexican Spix says, I don't know the exchange either. It dropped a lot lately. Yeah, everything's a big old flux. Everything will get straightened out again, but it's, there's a lot of, says he drives it once in a while. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in flux right now.
Well, there's no roof at all, so it's got to be a guaranteed sunny day.
Guaranteed sunny day. You're go fast. So the rain goes over you. In 71, the Australian Mini went to the Clubman flat hood body style. My round nose was an early 70 build. Dean Stevenson, GLC 323. What? That looks like somebody's license plate number. What is GLC 323?
The Mazda GLC.
Okay, let's get back to our what are we going to do here with our favorite car or whatever. What are we going to do to kind of do something next week?
Yeah, let's work together as a chat here.
So who was it suggested that?
Favorite what? Favorite sports car, favorite luxury car, favorite economy car, favorite wagon, favorite. GLC stood for great little car.
Great little car. You say it is my old neighborhood, the Simi Valley Freeway, when it was new. Dean Stevenson, Mazda 323 or early GLC. I had a 323 for a while on a used car lot and drove it around a little. I had several Mazdas on that lot, and they always sold well, and I didn't think they would, but they always did. Favorite car you've actually owned? Oh, man, I've owned too many cars.
Oh, it's just a little Mazda.
Oh, yeah, 323.
That's an early Mazda. Oh,
that's a B.
Hornets.
Yeah, Talos says, favorite car you've actually owned? Man, I'll tell you that one I have right now, the one that was like it from before, that was one of my favorites. This one isn't up to that yet. This one's not there yet. It doesn't quite handle good enough because it needs some front end parts. And although it's not real bad. And it's just not quite there yet. But that 79 Ford Futura coupe I had was great. My 64 Ford was, man, that thing, after I put the 351 in it, was pretty nice. Dean Stevenson, Gonzalez car, I've heard. They were going to call it a ZLC, but Zapatista, like Mopar, would have created legal issues in California. I have about 20 favorites, says a buddy car says. Yeah, I'm like that too. My favorite's a 67 Mustang I had. No, 69 Mach 1. No, my 67 Camaro. No, my 69 Camaro.
You guys jogged
Oh,
my
that's how I
memory.
was. That's how I was,
And we're
man.
talking about cars from 1983. I thought of a 1983 car that I owned.
Oh, you owned an 83.
One of the very first cars that I owned. I remember I paid $250 for it. It was a 1983 Toyota Corolla. It was red. It had wider tires on the back than on the front. The engine was completely, it only had like 100,000 miles on it, but I don't think they ever changed the oil, so the bearings were about out of
Oh,
it. And it had like a 5-speed transmission in it. And yeah, I cut my teeth on that. It was the first car that I legally drove and owned myself. And I borrowed the money from my parents, and then I went to I had a job and I worked and I paid them back. My first couple paychecks, I paid them back, and then
first,
I drove
first
that
car
for a
you
little while.
legally drove. I bought a 64 Ford. The 64 Ford I had for a long time. It originally had 289. It was just a stock car. And I didn't have my license yet. And it was my father drove it home for me. But I was about 2 weeks out from getting my license. I knew that. So it's sitting in the driveway. My parents weren't there. So I just couldn't help myself. I got in and I drove it down the street and picked up a friend of mine that lived a couple blocks down the street and drove it back up the street. And felt pretty good to drive it. Well, my brother was really into photography. So he took a bunch of pictures of me driving it up the street. Guess what he did? He sold me the negatives of the pictures. Yeah, you learn the hard way.
This Corolla was a really sharp car. I wish that at the time that I would have been smart enough to get a motor for it. It had 22R engine in it, and those were really good motors, but this one had been neglected or abused in some way, and it was bad, but usually the engines were good. I tried to get an engine, but I was too distracted. I was a dumb kid. Mexican Specs sold a few 1983 Pintos.
They had Pintos in 83? What?
Probably.
Do they still make those down there? Or you mean 73? I don't know what he means. Tavo says, I own an 83 Daihatsu Charade, almost as good as the Mini. 993 cc's of pure power. You know, that's something we never got here. We never got Daihatsus here. I think there's people have imported them because you see little vans sometimes, but not very often. But they're just not here. Oh no, they were called Escorts. Okay, Escorts. I like the original British Escort a whole lot better than the one we got. Look up, please.
I was looking up other things.
Okay,
What do you
okay,
want me to look up?
do it. No,
No,
do
go
it, do
ahead.
what you're
We'll
doing.
do what you're doing. So the two.
Oh,
of us
I'm just thinking of something. It's really off
Go ahead.
subject. Like a 1975 Escort, maybe. I'm guessing on the year.
75.
Yeah, okay, like the yellow one. Yeah, that was the British Escort. Oh, and they had them in Mexico. You had those in Mexico? Oh man, those are the Escorts I liked before they built the
Made 'em
American
good-looking?
Escort. Oh yeah, that's a cool looking car. And the one right behind you, the green one, I didn't know they had those in Mexico. Holy crap! Are those things still around? now I know what I want. Of course, I like the Ka too, the Ford Ka.
I was going to look up the Turismo or the Daihatsu.
Okay, so let's say yes, the Daihatsu was sold in the U.S. The Schrade and the Rocky. Okay, there are just so few of them. They just, you didn't see Daihatsu dealers around. Maybe a L.A. area or something where you were. Oh no, it was a model. They were not sold here. Oh, that's a model?
Turismo? Wait a minute. Turismo's a Charger.
Turismo, what's it? What are you talking about?
This thing.
The Escort was a very popular car down there, like that one I showed, the British one, the early ones. Yeah, we didn't get those. Tim says I've got to call an early night. I have to get my rest so I can pass my annual inspection tomorrow.
Okay, good luck with it. It's not really that early either. So if you guys have to go, we understand. You
Oh,
know,
Mexican Spec says it was an Escort in Mexico, but not sold there. That was just the name of it. Okay.
thank you everyone who has come in and is still hanging out. We're gonna go until we're done.
Okay, so next week we got to decide what we're doing next week.
We're gonna
Our
do your
favorite cars that
favorite
we've owned.
favorite
Yeah,
car.
let's just do that. We won't set any parameters. You just like, this is one of my favorite cars that I owned. Yeah, let's just do that. Does everybody agree with that? That'd be kind of fun.
We'll do favorite cars. Yeah. This way, if you
This,
something
what
new,
do people think about that?
they're fine with it. That's what we're gonna do. It won't be a year. We'll just be all over the map like we are anyways. Um. Okay.
Andrew, I knew somebody who traded it in a Maverick for a TC3 Turismo. He later took it in the garage and fired it up. That was a bad trade, says Mexican Spec. Yeah, I don't know.
I was just watching somebody doing it because this is the Charger. This was equivalent to the Dodge Charger of the same time period. I was just watching somebody work on some bombed out old the shift link which was falling apart, and he had to do some kind of
I know
engine ring. I mean, it was pretty. It was honestly, he just tinkered with it and got it going and was driving it around.
I know who it was.
Who was
That
it?
somebody that was complaining about AI stuff and all the terrible history, and it was Kaiser Fraser cars, and it was my friend Vern. I was on the phone with him last night, and he and another guy are starting a YouTube channel, and he's going to be the friend is doing the YouTube part of it, but he's going to be one of the people that does the talking and the showing and all that.
Oh, maybe they can do a live
And he's
stream.
going to do stuff about Kaiser Fraser, and he is really knows his shit, And his father was a Kaiser Fraser dealer, and they had Kaisers and Frasers when they were kids, and he's got all the manuals and owns them and everything, so he really knows everything. And the AI just butchers all the history. And he goes, "Man, I hate that." And he goes, "So we're gonna do that, try to set everything straight." Cool. Okay, so that's who it was. It was Vern.
We are not setting it straight because we don't know what straight is.
Well, you know what? You learn on here.
Yeah,
But
we do
you
learn a
can't
lot
learn from AI though,
from
'cause
first person experience. People
A-
are like, I remember I had this and it was like that, and this was good and this
A-
was bad, and it's
AI
cool stuff.
really is full of it.
Yeah,
Sadly.
I don't know. It's just
Okay, so next week we're gonna do
favorite car.
just favorite cars. Just what some of our favorite cars was.
The 2.2 was enough to be a bit of fun. Yeah, in a little light car like that, front wheel drive, the weight and balance was pretty good. Zipping around in a 2.2 is all right. It's not going to win any drag races, but it'll zip through the turns real nice. This man was complaining that the handling was sort of loose on those cars. Those cars handled pretty well, didn't they?
Which cars is that? I'm sorry, I'm looking at email.
1983 Dodge Charger, Plymouth Turismo kind of thing.
Oh, my picture didn't pop up.
Oh, I can bring it up. It's a Mazda RX-7 with the
Okay, and
from
Dean says
1983. What's up?
that Buddy Carfana sent that in. It's an '83 RX-7. I
That's a
like that.
sharp
That's
car.
a nice looking car.
Oh, that's a one of those Mazda rotary engines.
I remember when those came out, ads.
Something
Yeah.
special. I'm not stopping.
You're not stopping for ads. Okay, so, and Dean Stevenson says in the Ford Meteor sedan. I'm afraid he's watching ads right now. The Meteor sedan here was a Mercury. Unless you're in Canada, then it was a Meteor, which was a brand name, like Ford or like Mercury. It was a Meteor. So I don't know what a Meteor was in Australia or New Zealand. T18, very forgettable Toyota here. A T18 was an airplane here. Red Hornet, my 2.2 out of 5 speed. My Omni had the Volkswagen 1.7 engine, had a 4-speed, and like some magazine article I read, the guy says it shifted real nice. He goes, it was like little balls of friction. Man, that was a perfect way to say it, because it kind of felt like a plastic ball that would kind of go ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. Felt like little balls of friction, but it shifted really nice. AI is 85% wrong, but I'm okay with that. Dean Stevens, you're okay with that? I'm not okay with that at all, because that's the history we're leaving for everybody. Man. X Inspect says the controls felt like they're going to break when they were new in the Charger Turismo. It was the door handles that fell off.
That's a shame that they couldn't get the build quality for.
Yeah.
Like they hadn't learned how to build door handles by the 80s. Like I don't understand like how we lose technology.
T18 Macho. That was all the AMI Toyota ad said. Tyler says telco ad. Telco ad, Kim.
Get 2 points for your ad. Thank you for calling it out.
Oh, says, yeah, if you had the sporty package, handling was okay. Ball joints weren't terribly robust. Those, so that could make them loosey-goosey. I want to say something about
Doesn't Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage have one of those 2.2s? He says a turbo.
They did make turbo ones. PT Cruisers. They have rack and pinion steering.
Okay.
There's tie rod ends that go out, and the tie rod ends screw on like most tie rod ends, except they're pressed sheet metal like this with a ball in there, and they come apart. So if you've got one of those, just change it over to like forged steel, Moog or a good ball joint. I had one come apart, and I was going through Louisville, Kentucky, going through the freeways and everything, interchanges, going fast, changing lanes, and I was getting hungry, pulled off, drove into a Burger King, and I made the turn, 90-degree turn into the parking space, and one front wheel went out like this, like almost 90 degrees, and the other wheel was straight ahead, and that that pressed steel tie rod end had fallen apart. Man, if that had happened like 5 minutes earlier, we're in a disaster. So every time I see one of those, I just say, hey, just replace those. Those are terrible. You don't need that on your front end. Tim, I'm losing my voice.
All right, I think we need to be done.
I just sent you a car above me. Like, let's see. PT Cruiser. PT Cruiser's all right.
I'd rather walk the drive a PT Cruiser. Mike Murphy's a PT hater.
Man, I had a PT Cruiser. Oh, what is this? Oh, I know what this is. Kim.
A Nissan Pulsar.
Oh, I love those cars. You know,
really?
Out in the backyard,
yeah.
Behind the shop, there's one of those tops.
Oh, is that what that is?
I bought the top for the car and never got the car. Because
I had no idea. Well, we could put it on the 300Z.
Yeah, I don't know. Fit.
It looks like the same damn car.
Well, it's a different car. This is a little front driver. Okay, so what do you think a stock PT Cruiser would be good? Rally car? Oh, I don't know about that. I used my PT Cruiser going back and forth from here to Arizona over and over and over and over and over. Geez, I don't know, 50, 60 times. And hauled airplane wings inside it. They just fit inside with the seat folded down. I think it got usually about 33 miles a gallon. Mine had a 4-speed in it, not the stupid automatic. But my kid wrecked it. That was the end of that. Constantine smashed it up.
The Cam just insulted the 300ZX. Yeah, sorry, Red Hornet.
What's this?
To me, it doesn't run. It sits on the trailer. It probably needs an engine. I don't know. It's not that special if I can't even move it. But it probably is a lot nice. Yeah, you're right. It's a lot cooler car than this. But
well, these are a little coupe, unless you bought that wagon top, and that wagon top opened up like a hatchback. It was really cool, I thought, but most people didn't. my weirdness. I liked it.
Tavo says, I already have a neon. I want to upgrade to a PT. I think a PT is an upgrade.
Well,
I
a
don't know.
PT is an upgrade. It's a much more substantial body because it's got big, thick A pillars and B pillars. I mean, it's a strong body. If you roll a thing over, you'll be fine, as long as you got a seatbelt on. The rear end is held in with a Watts link. Is the side by side movement of the rear end isn't a panhard rod. It's a Watts linkage, so it's better. Because there's a lot of stuff that's pretty nice about the PT Cruiser. What I found was everybody liked the PT Cruisers until the old people had them and the kids badmouthed them like hell. And then after that, it's like everybody hated it just because you were supposed to hate it. But I owned one and I thought it was a damn good car. Actually, I thought it was a whole lot better car than the Neon was. But it was mostly Neon stuff, but it was a heck of an improvement. Oh, what's this? Somebody sent us. Okay, maybe that came up. I keep saying we're gonna close down and then I keep going.
Yeah, you do.
What is this? Oh, it's a backup PT Cruiser.
Charge.
Yeah, but it's also a PT Cruiser.
Oh, it's a PT Cruiser with a back.
I remember when the PT Cruiser came out. It had been out for about a year, and my friend Carl, it's passed away now. He's in Arizona, and he was a Mopar guy all the way. And he'd go to these Mopar car shows on the weekends. He goes, I can't believe it. He goes, there's usually about 25, 30 of us there with our Mopars. And he goes, there were 600 PT Cruisers there. And he didn't like them because they just overtook the shows. But it was a really popular car with people who are like 10 years older than me because it kind of reminded them of 30s cars. And they weren't a bad car.
You could buy customized stuff.
You could buy all kinds of stuff. Andrew Button, I had 2 PT Cruisers. They both blew up.
I mean,
you know what? You got to put a timing belt in them at about 80,000 miles. Nissan Leopard. We didn't have a Leopard. B-pillars is what the Japanese looked at very closely due to the size of smaller American or Asian drivers. PT Loser. Man, I see there is so much hate out there for the PT Cruiser, but I had nothing. The only thing that went bad with that PT Cruiser was the hydraulic on the clutch after 130,000 miles or something needed to be replaced because the master cylinder started to bypass. And it needed a timing belt, of course. That's a maintenance item. And my kid wrecked it. That did it in. But other than that, that was just a change oil and drive car. It was amazing. I was going to put brakes on it one time because it had been so long, so I think I put pads on the front, and then I pulled the back wheels off to do the rear, and they were drums. And there was so much meat left on them, I just put it back together. Had over 100,000 miles on it. Oh, why do this? They look good. I don't know. It was a comfortable car to drive. But I know, it's like the world's biggest hated car. Don't understand why something that's so reliable.
A friend had a PT Cruiser and it was a piece of garbage and she had nothing but trouble with it.
I don't know.
So I guess it depends on what day they built it, maybe.
I don't know. Andrew Button, mine was a 5-speed. I liked it. Then it blew the motor. And it was hailed to no end. Well, it blew the motor. What happened? You know what happened? Timing belt broke. You got to change the timing belt. I don't know what happened, but yeah, PT Cruiser wagon, not bad. The convertible was ugly. I never understood the convertible. Why would they make something like that? Pontiac Aztek that's the most hated, I think. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
More than the PT Cruiser. But there are a lot of people who feel strongly hate about the PT Cruiser. I think it's a pretty much love it or hate it kind of vibe on the PT Cruiser.
I remember being in England and seeing PT Cruisers run around. They thought they were cool. But that was in 09, so they were still almost new cars. Okay, so we're going to do our favorite cars next week. And is that it, Kim?
We'll be doing the cleanup crew. We'll be doing the cleanup crew maybe Wednesday or Thursday, something like this week. Yeah. We'll put up a thing. So check us out then, and we'll be back next week on
Wednesday's AHRA, so I don't know how. Yeah. So.
We already said that.
Okay.
I think we're repeating ourselves. Man, it's been a great night. Everyone who's still here, you guys get 2 points for staying till the end. And I'm sorry that we can't keep going, but man, going close to 4 hours, it's exhausting. It's a lot of work. So we're gonna I made chili. We're gonna eat some
Gonna go
chili.
eat some chili. That sounds
Yep,
good.
we're gonna chill out, watch some YouTube, you guys. Tony is live on Thursday. Mexican Spec will be there moderating as he often does.
Thursday nights we have commitments.
Yeah,
Kim has things to do. I have things to do. So
Yeah.
Thursday nights we don't usually go on.
sometimes really late.
Sometimes
not so
really
much.
late Thursday night.
See, we wore Mexican Spec out. He
We
had
wore
an
it.
early stream and he's been here the whole time. And I have some video that we have recorded. So I'm going to try and get some of that out for you guys in the long form. I don't know if it's going on my channel or your channel, so just be aware it'll pop up sometime. Check that out.
Mrs. One Eye Cat, I love my van. That's all I can say. Hey, if your headlights are still screwed up, I'll fix them at No Name Nationals.
Happy trails. That's an excellent way to say goodbye.
Yep.
And we'll see you all next time, guys.